for Lacoste. Lacoste, you said they haven't beaten Team Liquid.
Yeah, maybe a draw. Maybe
they
a
can
draw.
tie, right?
Yeah, they can tie this one. And if they manage to get a tie, I think it's going to be pretty smooth sailing for them, seeing how well they were playing. And I don't think these teams are going to be matched as evenly against Nigma Galaxy. Maybe P-Time is going to, maybe other teams like L1 team could potentially cause an upset, but I think other teams, they should look pretty stable against them.
Yeah, we're going to find out exactly how stable as we are moments away from the draft. It's time to talk about the nitty-gritty of it all. What kind of heroes? We already mentioned the Ember Spirit, but I actually want to know what kind of priority are we going to see in this draft, especially if we're saying, oh, both of the offlaners are struggling a little bit, and the mid laners, well, they're going to do well anyway. Where is the priority going to come from in this draft?
It's hard to say.
Hello.
I'm
Okay.
thinking a little bit of SF in a sense, because obviously, he was a mid player. He's still a mid player.
ထပ်ပြီးတော့ sound west မဲ့အတင်းကတော့ liquid ပဲဖြစ်ပါတယ်အဲ့တော့တဖြည်းဖြည်းနဲ့ကျွန်တော်အချိန်လေးတော့ရလိုက်မနေ့ကဆို aurora နဲ့ game 2လေးမှာ
from the mid lane many times. He's
ငကမာရဲ့အနေထားကတော့ဘာလေးမျိုးဖြစ်သွားမလဲဆိုတော့ sense တော့ထည့်ပေးလိုက်တယ်ကိုအဲ့တော့
so I would
လက်ရှိအထိကတော့ clean ပြမရသေးဘူးဒါပေမဲ့ကျွန်တော်တခြား stream မှာကြည့်တယ်မှာတို့ကလည်း in game တန်တွေထုတ်နေကြတာဆိုတော့ regular risk တော့ယူပြီးတော့ဒီနေ့တော့အတန်တော့ထုတ်ပေးမယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ caster အတန်တော့လည်းမြတ်ပါတော့ဘောရတီကံပေးကြအောင်ကျွန်တော် clean ပြအဖတ်မလို့ဘူးကိုနိုင်ငံရဲ့ဆိုမှာဘူးမှ clean ပြမရဘူးပြပုံမှန်ဆိုလူတိုင်းရတဲ့အနေထား
just better to keep him on his signature.
ကြည့်ပြီးကွာ liquid ကိုလည်းတေးလောက်ဆော့လိုက်ဟာလားအဲ့ဒါဆိုတော့ငကမာကတကယ်ပြန်လာပြီ
It's
ငကမာပြန်လာပြီအဲ့ Smil အဲ့လိုမျိုးပေါ့အပြန်လိုက်ချတဲ့ကောင်နဲ့နော် Loran ကိုနည်းနည်းအသာပစ်တဲ့ပုံစံမျိုးမိုက်တယ်
We've seen them yesterday. They contest the draw.
မနေ့က quality တွေနော် my friend တို့ဟမ်နောက်ဆုံးချိန်ဒီသူရှိရလို့သိတယ်နော်မနေ့ကတော့ quality နေပဲ
And then you have
ဒီနေ့လေ
Treants and Clockworks.
ငကမာလေးနဲ့တော့တက်စားရ
on how strong they are.
Yeah, Nigma Galaxy, they will probably try to get their hands on keep up the
Messi,
light,
hello.
potentially possible.
Only တွေးပါလားမတကွတ်တပွဲချင်းတော့ project လို့ drop ကြီးမောင်းကြတော့ drop မမြင်ရမယ်နဲ့ဘယ်လိုရနည်းနည်းကအောင်းတွေးမိစီချင်း play off လောက်မှလို့ play off လောက်ဆို၄ပွဲလောက်ဆိုတဲ့မတို့ဘာစောတယ်ပါညာနည်းနည်းမှန်းလို့ရတယ်တို့လက်နာပါညာ
they've been playing but
အဲ့တော့ဒါပေမဲ့ဒီ eSport World Cup ကဒူးချမ်းချက်ကတို့ကရှေ့ဟို stream B တွေ C တွေဆိုရင်အဲ့လိုမျိုးဒီမှာမစော်ခိုင်းတော့ lobby သိရမလားကျွန်တော်တို့တိုက်တဲ့နေရာတွေဟို hotel room ကနေစော်ခိုင်းတာဆိုမြဲနေတပွဲရဒါပေမဲ့တကယ်ကောင်းတဲ့ပွဲတွေလည်းတို့ကအဲ့လိုဟိုမှာမဲ့ထား 3A မှာမဲ့ထား 3A ဆိုရင်ကျွန်တော် panel တွေပါမယ်ဒီလို stage တွေပါမယ်အဲ့လို fan တွေပါတယ်နဲ့သူက group stage မှာတွေတပွဲကိုသူက fan တွေနဲ့စော်ခိုင်းတာကျွန်တော်ငကမာ39တည်းမှာဒိတ်ဆိုတော့ငကမာအနေနဲ့အဲ့ 3A ကိုရောက်နေအဲ့ငကမာပွဲရဆောင်းကြတယ်သူများပွဲတွေကသူတို့ဘင်းဝက်လောက်ပြီးမှသူတို့ကစား
Nisha does but I don't think
အမေမတက်နိုင်ဘူးငကမာ liquid ဆိုတော့ဒီပွဲပဲတော့ပြ
I think Nisha is pretty good on it but I'm just wondering I mean on Team Liquid side I think early Earth Spirit pick makes a lot of sense
ငကမာနိုင်ထိုင်လိုက်မလားခဏလေးဆန်နာလေးကိုခဏလေးထိတ်လိုက်မလားနော်ဒီမှာ drop တော့ကြည့်ရမနေ့ကလည်း game 1တော့ drop ကြီးနေသွားတော့
historically with BGH
ချ
Lorn of Earth Spirit, I've seen it, but Omar Earth Spirit, I don't think I've seen that before. So, are they willing to switch roles and have GH play the Earth Spirit on position 4?
ငကမာတော့ပွဲရှူရအင်းဟာငကမာပန်နေအောင်တရားရေးကိုရီးယားပြန်ပြီးတော့ရုံးစုလေးတော့ဖြစ်လာပြီ
From whether it offlane now switching from a position 5.
ဆိုမျိုးရတော့ဖြစ်စေချင်ပါတယ်နော်သူဒုက္ခတွေခံကိုပြောလို့ပေါ့
Earth Spirit that is running around the map making
သူလည်းမစ်လေးနဲ့ပြီးသွားတဲ့နောက်မှာ carry လေးနဲ့များ
that is not something that
ကိုပြောရမလားနော်မနေ့ကတော့ aurora နဲ့ပွဲရတော့ might game 2
upper hand in terms of like
ပြောလုံနေ off ကရုံးအားချီတယ်အဲ့ဒါကနေကမှသာဒီမှာတခြားမိနစ်တွေဆိုင်ဒီကောင်းမစ်ကနည်းနည်းရုံးအားကောင်းတခုခုဆိုရင်ဘယ်လိုမျိုးမရှိပါဘူးဟို noob တို့ပါတော့ကြတော့ဒီတိုင်းသိရပါဘာလို့ချင်တော့လုပ်ချင်မှမသိ
Liquid can play it but I wonder if Nigma Galaxy can
ဒါချက်ပေါက်ကြည့်ပါဦးတဲ့ okay ပါ bro
with a Kez
So male Kez, that's a good question actually.
We have seen
Team Liquid prioritizeဘာကြောင့်လဲမသွေးနေတော့ game ပွဲကြည့်တာ
the best if not like probably the
Kero di ba ma liquid and nigga ma daro king one
Watson's gonna have to have a
three
maybe also P Vision maybe like the whole squad be like yeah we have the best Kez on the
yeah liquid နဲ့ aurora 9-1 ဟိုပွဲပြီးဝင်တဲ့အသိနေရတော့အဲ့လိုမချက်တော့
hero to play like you could definitely
Sheriff hit first bit ဟာဆိုမ Sheriff hit တီးပြီ
but he got first phase ban
ဟောငါမဘောလေးကြီးတယ်ဆိုမှတောက်လျှောက်ချင်မင်းကကျွန်တော် Sheriff hit တော့မဆုံးဘူးငါမပြန်ပေးနေရ
And
Iron
no
Vein.
Earth Spirit either.
Yeah.
And it's
ဟုတ်တယ်
actually
အခု line ကတရား2မဟုတ်တော့ဘူးเนาะတရား1လို့ပြောလို့ရအောင်
Galaxy Earth Spirit in that one. We also have with the first phase pickup the Darkseer, the hero that we see.
ဟောကိုတို့အရင်လူစင်းတော့စိတ်တည်ညစ်လို့ပြပါမပြောင်းငါပွဲဆိုတီးတတ်မပြောင်း
Makes sense. It was Nigma's
Chin
answer
la la
to
shit.
SF, so they respect it and they know that
အေး
they
ဟို
could
နု
also
နဲ့
take
Rincy 2
into
ဖြစ်သွားတဲ့အချိန်မှာလုံးဝ
because
ဒီကမှာပွဲတွေ
we've
ကြည့်နေစိမ့်
seen
မရှိ
both
တော့
these teams answer the SF
ကဲအဲ့တော့မှ
pressure,
ကီး
so,
ပါတဲ့အခုကတော့အဲ့လိုမျိုးပေါ့လေ move နဲ့ပြန်ရလာတယ်ဒီကမှာဟိုကြည့်ရတာအားပေးရတာเนาะဘာဖြစ်ဖြစ်ဒီလူစင်းနဲ့ကတော့မိုက်
I don't
ကဲ
think
အဲ့တော့ Liquid ကလည်း
something
ကျွန်
that's
တော်
easy to
keeper
predict. And now Liquid they decide to it was basically a
Bro,
trade that they
Taxi
offered
ale
to
ban
Nigma
her
as
out.
like SF Coddle trade and this is what Nigma decided it was going to be. So the one maybe worry I'd have for Liquid is you pick this
Come on,
Coddle,
do
it's most likely a position
the
4,
year,
I
no.
think almost
ဘွဲတော့
certainly
နိုင်မ
position
ဆိုးပါ
4.
ဘူးတူးစီမဟုတ်ရင်
And
တော့မှ
that usually means you're going to pick a meaty position 3 with him. And it's never fun to play a meaty position 3 against SF. It's, you know, as Davai said, you need to have the jungle mindset, but that's not something Coddle enjoys.
Seraphine
Coddle
ကြည့်ရ
really
Ace ကို
cannot
သူတို့
run around and make
ပြီး
things
ပေါ်လာ
happen around
Ace က
him.
လက်ရှိရတော့လို့
He
Liquid မှာတော်တော်
relies
ကြီး
on
မ
his
ကောင်း
off
ပြောအောင်
laner,
သူ off
staying in the lane,
တချို့ဘောတွေဆိုပါတော့မပါဘူး
to also play that lane to get his
ပွဲပြီး
levels.
သွားတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ Ace ကမပါပါဘူး
Yeah, and maybe stack a little bit here.
Stack, yeah. You need to fall back to stack. This is the hero that can help you clearing the stacks as well with the interchakra magic, blasting both of the camps at the same time if needed. But yeah, I do agree. Like you see this Shadow Fiend.
ကဲပေါ်လာတယ် really တယောက်ချက်နေလိုက်မလားဟောဝီကို support နေဆို
Like how to deal with this. Darkseer has been looking good. It has been banned, but it hasn't also looked good in the laning stage. I think one of the best pairings that you could have is Beastmaster paired up with this Keeper of the Light, which is going to get removed by Nigma Galaxy, Axe as well, Blade Mail buyers as well. A lot of these heroes are like very good throughout the game against Shadowfiend, but most of them
Ember
are not
ဟာ
that
နီ
good.
ရှာ Ember မနေ့ကတော့ကြည့်လိုက်ရတယ်နော်တစ်ဖြတ်ကြည့်တဲ့ချိန်မှာနီရှာ Ember ရဲ့ sound တော့လောက်တယ်
Team Liquid
အဲ့တော့တစ်ဖက်ကိုလည်းမပေးချင်တာပါပဲဒီမှာနီရှာဒီနဲ့လူလိုက်တဲ့သဘောပဲ
a mid laner that really uses
ဟော
chakra
ဒီပါ
magic.
နဲ့လည်းကျွန်တော်တွဲလို့ရနေတာပါ
So
ဗျာ
very good,
ဒီပင်လေးကတော့မိုက်တယ်ကွာဘလက်စင်းစားကွာဘလက်စင်းစားတော့
Nigma wants to,
ဘလက်စင်းစားသွားတာ
you know, counter the Ember. You
အဲ့
really
မှာဟိုဘက်ကလည်း
have to
လုံရ
show
off က
that
တောက်ချောက်
because
Ember နေတာဆိုတော့
Coddle
Ember ကို
has
လည်း
a
သူမ
slow
ပေးချင်
game,
ဘူးပြီးတော့
given the fact
နော်
that
ဒီ
he's
ဘက်
playing against
keeper နဲ့လည်းတွဲ
SF.
လို့ရတယ်နီရှာလည်းဆက်
On the other hand, one hero that got through the pool
Eh,
for
Chia,
Nigma
bro.
is Wisp. I don't know if this is something they will consider.
လောဝေး
But last series we
ဒီနေ့
watched
တော့
from them,
quality
they
တွေ
was
ထပ်ပြဖို့မျှော်လင့်ပါတယ်
banned
ကိုယ့်
in
တက်
first
တယ်
phase in every game. This time around, Liquid seems to not, you know, respect it as much.
Yep. I would love to see some kind of a body. Tusk looked very, very good in the hands of GH, just to have some coverage for Shadowfiend from position 5. A good laner, like one setup with the tag team, with the blood grenade or shards, is gonna grant you the kill. So for now, it's just gonna be Hoodwink.
Yeah, I'm a
This is
Hoodwink, Shadowfiend.
something they talked about in an interview, because Omar
ဟို
lost
မနေ့ကတော့ပြောပြပါတယ်အိုမာအဲ့ဟူးဝင်ပဲဖြစ်ပြီ
for
နော်
various
ဟို
reasons,
က
yes.
ဟူးဝင်ရဲ့ test ကရဲ့သူအစော့များတဲ့စပူလာတွေက
keeping on our radar?
ဒီပါဟိုဘက်ကလူပါဆိုတော့ GB test ကတော့တက်ထွက်လာနိုင်တယ်
You always have to mention H Profit when we're
test က
talking
တော့
about
IO
Liquid in the
တို့
drought.
ကိုလိုရအဲ့လိုစပူလာပစ်တော့ကျင်း
I was told also that it does do well against Shadowfiend.
Yeah,
တပူရောမဟုတ် Facebook ကို YouTube ကို react ပေးထားတယ်ဘရိုကျေးဇူးအများကြီးတင်ပါတယ်နော်ဟောဖေးအဲ့တော့ဒါတော့နည်းနည်းဆန်းသွားပြီဒါပေမဲ့ Cherry နဲ့
laning
လို့
duo.
ကျွန်တော်တို့တွဲဖို့အတွက်တင်ပါတယ်ဒီကမှာကြည့်ရ
So you don't really take a big risk when you pick
Being
Profit or
a
Draw,
Sheriff
so
fan, no?
we could
I'm
see
a
the
hooligan.
Tofu hero come with either of those. I think it's a pretty good game for it, to be honest.
ဒီရှာတော့လည်း
We see
And
the
Nisha
Bane,
Ember
which
option
most
ಇದೆ.
likely will
Kaya
be
matay mo.
GH Bane. It's
Nisha
a
Ember.
very good hero against Coddle in the lane because Coddle really suffers from not being able to trade effectively with the position
စပူ
5.
ကငကောင်းနေတယ်ဘုံပါမားလို့ကောင်မျိုးတွေနော်နည်းနည်း
He's going to be running
လာ
them,
ကူ
not
လာလာကိုတော့ဘန်
letting
တာ
him channel illuminate to
စပူ
push
က
up,
ငကောင်း risk
to
မြောင်းတယ်
push
ကွာ
the
ဘိန်း
wave.
ဝင်
So
Don't
it's going to
feel-
be very oppressive. It's a really tough support matchup for Coddle. On top of that, Bane is a great hero at nighttime after Coddle has managed to get some stacks going to just run around, scout
စပူ
these
ရို
stacks,
ကြည့်တဲ့
place aggressive
off lane
wards,
မျိုးဆိုရင်တော့မလွယ်ဘူး
and contest the
ကဲ
stacks
နောက်
essentially.
entire
How important is it, you feel, for Nigma Galaxy
Right, and I
to
are
have
there
a
fight
stack
left in
hero of
line, you
their
know?
own so they can contest?
off လည်းဖြစ်တော့ဖြစ်နေတယ်လက်ရှိမိုင်တာမှာ off တွေလည်းစော့နေ
In
ကြ
a
တယ်
sense, I think it's more. It's
အနေနဲ့
more about
Parivision
the
ပြီး
usual,
အောင်ပြလိုက်
because
တယ်
the
ကို
hero
2မိနစ်လောက်မ
that-
ပြ
the
ဘဲ
heroes
နဲ့
that
OG ပြန်ပြလိုက်
typically will help
Orbition လည်းအဆုံးထိနေပါပဲ
contest the stacks.
ကိုယ်ကလုံးဝ
I mean,
ပြီးနေပြီ ကိုယ်ကနေဝင်ရိုက်နေတော့ခဏမြန်မြန်ပိတ်ပြီးတော့မှ OG ပြန်ပြလိုက်တာလိုက်ဆိုရင်တဲ့
So the mid matchup is what decides.
ဒါကြောင့်ကြာပြီး TI ပွဲတွေကနောက်လာစားမှာ
play
e-sport
off
ကလည်း TI ထောက်လျှောက်ကြည့်ပြီးရင်ကျွန်တော်နာပြီးမှ e-sport
Thinking
nation
this
က
one through. What kind of a range hero they want to have? Draw Rangers still in the pool.
အမ wish
Okay,
တောက်တာ
this means that
and
Undying
I
can be
all
played
liquid
from the off lane. This is a
wish တောက်
another hero that can spam out potentially, like you push out the waves with.
wish
the
တောက်တာ
K
ဖြစ်ရတ
and
မျိုးတော့တမျိုးရေအမဆူမေးရဲ့ second nature နဲ့တော့တွေ့ပြီ
I have to say that
group
I don't.
ကောင်းတယ်ကွာအသေးနိုင်ဘန်နေတာနော်ဆူမေးရဲ့ group
So we have to see, but I
Well,
don't
Liquid
think
got
this
Liquid
lane
like
works against Bane SF or Bane Necro for that matter.
TI ကပြမှာပေါ့ဒီရဲ့ကိုရီးရဲ့ဟိုပါဘောလို့ first day ပဲပဲဟုတ်လား
It's gonna remind me why I'm sitting here watching, but I have to say that I don't think it works. I'm a little bit worried for Liquid's offlane because
playoff တွေကနောက်3ရက်လောက်တော့လုံးမယ်
we'll have to see how it goes. The one other thing to mention is
ငါတို့ကဆိုးရမဆိုးဒါပေမဲ့တောင်းတုံးချုံချုံနဲ့ပြဿနာတော့ဖြစ်သွားပြီကျွန်တော်ပြင်ရတော့မစ်ကြီးနော် ဒီအဲ့လို ammo ကိုတာတာကြောင့်နည်းနည်းလေးကိုရိုနေနဲ့တော့ matter ကိုပြင်လိုက်တယ်ပြောရမယ်ဒီ matter တော့လက်ကြည့်ရလို့ channel fit miss ဆိုတာကြီးမရှိဘူး channel fit က carry ပဲနော်မင်းကိုရိုနည်းနည်းလေးတော့အဲ့လိုပြောင်းတော့ပြောင်း
completely uncontested, so
အမေတားပြောတယ်နော်ငကမာ drop အားနေချက်ပြောဆိုဒီကောင်တော့ဆောင်း
maybe
ပြော
a draft that is a little bit all in from
Yes,
Liquid.
we've seen these type of drafts from other teams where they're lacking stuns.
Yes,
They're very good at
cool. Which you
grouping
did in
up,
League,
but
oh, yeah.
sometimes they are lacking that extra bit of oomph to actually get themselves with the advantage to the like mid-game fights where they're playing with the deficit the whole time because they can't really make a move. And the map is so big that it allows enemy team to dodge the fight. We're talking about like more experienced teams that are not gonna be baited into these fights. It's like you said, it's searing chains, and that's about it. I also don't think they're gonna be getting that extra bit of value from their carry role. That's gonna be some kind of a stun initiator. Like if you think about some
ကဲအဲ့တော့နည်းနည်းတော့တော့တင်းတင်းဖြောင်းဖြောင်းဆင်းဆင်းနော်ရှေ့ရလည်းနေရမယ်ဆိုတော့ off lane မျိုးဘာကြံလဲ
But they really need it. They
Send
need that
Dora
kind of
by.
hero, else their draft
Oh,
is
Dora
very
and Kilo,
lackluster,
yeah.
in my opinion. You know, Dora you need stuns in Dora, and then Kuro would know a bunch about that. But
တိုက်ကြီးရတော့မကောင်း wish တောက်တာ
in my
ဘာ
opinion.
ကောတော့
I could
ဒေါ
maybe
ဘန်နဲ့
see something like
အင်းငကမာဘန်
Tiny
နဲ့
coming out
ခို
because
င်ဆောင်နာရဝဲဝီမ thank you ပါ
Yet again,
ပြမှာ
that's
ပြ
into
မှာဒီ
Necro.
e-sport ကလည်းနေတိုင်းရှိတယ်ကျွန်တော်လိုက်ဆိုရင်
feel good. Like I feel like whatever
တော့
they're
နေ
gonna
တိုင်း
be
ရှိတယ်အဲ့ဟို3နိုင်ခွဲတွေကမပြသေးဘူးဆိုတော့ပွဲတွေကတော်တော်မကောင်းလို့ကျွန်တော် fake ကိုနဲ့ဝင် eater လို့ဥမာပွဲမျိုးတွေတော့ပြလို့မကောင်း
to Ember Spirit.
Yes.
Like you don't get to play the game pretty much. He's gonna be sitting on your high
ကဲဒီ
ground.
မှာ
giving you
တော့ကျွန်တော်
different-
let's ဘာမှ necro
I think it's
off
one
ပြော
of
င်းမ
the
လား
few heroes that actually
အဲ့လည်းရတော့ရတယ်ကဒီမှာပြောလို့မရဘူး necro off ဒါမဲ့လည်းဟိုစမျိုးကတော့ necro ကိုအရင်ဆော့ထားတာဆိုတော့သိရမလားဒီဘက်က off lane နေပဲ
the third
နော်
spell
ပြောင်းကျင်တော့ကိုလိုနည်းနည်းပြောင်းကျင်လို့ကျွန်တော်တို့ carry ပဲတက်သွား necro ကို mid တွေပါဖြတ်လွတ်လိုက်လေရတယ်ကွာနောက်တစ်ခုက necro ကို mid ကလည်း ammo တာ the rank of necro ဆော့လိုက်လေဖြတ်သေးတယ်
It's too much resource
ငကမာ drop ကအဲ့လိုနည်းနည်းလှည့်ဖို့တော့တို့လုံးလို့ရ
for Necro can actually stand against an Ember and a Coddle and just sustain all the damage they're able to dish out. So it's a solid option. I could see Necromid. It's a little bit static in a sense, but this game in particular it could work.
But if it's a Necro and instead of 3, he's gonna be 2, so a little bit of a higher priority. What is the tipping point for
Crazy
Muerta?
over and the law ကဲ
They could.
Necro
Muerta is
mid မလား
too
Sheriff
big for
မ
them
မလား
in
တော့
the
ကြည့်
sense
ရ
that it counters Necro.
အဲ့တော့နှစ်ကောင်လုံးက ammo နိုင်နေနော်မတော့ဟေးလို့ရတော့ခုနကပြောရှေ့မနေပေးမဲ့ဘာညာမာတဲ့ကောင်ကိုတော့သူ and the law တော့ရွေးတော့ရွေးတာဟိုဘက်ကအရင်တိုးတော့မစိုးလို့ဟောပြီးတော့
How do you kill this SF? Like he's
တော့
just
ဘာ
gonna be
ဖြစ်ဖြစ်အဲ့လိုရှေ့မနေမဲ့တကောင်ကလည်းလိုနေပြီဆိုတော့
And a Sprout is not a stun.
ဒီ over ကောင်းကျွန်တော်ပဲ miss ဆိုရင်တော့ပိုကောင်းမယ်တင်ကိုစိတ်
So they don't have to worry about the Necro going to that lane. So perhaps the Tinies and the Svens that
ကြိုက်တယ် KO ဘာတော့ကြိုက်တယ်ငါကမဆော့ပေါ်မှာမြင်ရတယ် liquid ကလည်းဒီ draft ကြီးနဲ့တော့ကျုံးမှာလာ KO ပါလေ
down that route. They also need like a hard carry kind of
ငါ
hero.
သိဆော့ဘောကလည်းမနေ့ကကြိလိုက်တာတည်းအင်စာလေးနည်းနည်းလှုပ်လိုက်တာဆိုတော့
Yeah, I've seen so many games where Undying just falls.
ကဲအဲ့တော့
off. He
Michaeli
works
ဘာဆော့မလဲ
very early game,
ဒီဘက်က
mid
and
game
alone နဲ့တင်
especially,
ရ
but in the super late game, this hero just doesn't do as much. I kind of like Tiny. I feel like this is the hero that plays with Chakra Magic. It's also a stun. It's a bit of a mixed damage, so you have right place
Michaeli.
onto Necro. Because this type of a lineup is going to be super tanky on Nigma Galaxy.
အိုးလုံးဝပြောင်းနေတဲ့ hero ကြီးအောင်ရေ
That's your prediction.
Yeah,
ပတ်တာနော်ကိုဟိုနေ့ကတော့ဆော့အရင်ပြောင်းလို့သိရမလားမြင်မှုကျင်လို့ဆိုပြီးသွားဆော့
I mean, I'm
အော်
hoping
ဒီကတော့ဘေး
overall
ဟို
also
စ
because
ပူ
of
ရာ
the
နှစ်ကောင်
Spectre
တော်တော်ဒစ်လေပြီးကွာ GH နဲ့
I've
အိုမာ
always
နဲ့
been,
ဟမ်
and I think the hero is very
ပတ်တာ
very
နိုင်မာ
strong
နဲ့ Emma တိုးမာနဲ့ဆို
any
တော့
sort of tank
ကဲတော့ခုန
business
ကိုပြောလို့ပဲ
of
ထင်းတဲ့အတိုင်းပဲနော်နှ
Spectre
ခုက
and
mid တော့
starts
ဖြစ်
from
သွား
the
ပြီ
laning
ပုံမှန်တော့
phase
snow
now
ဆော့နေဆိုပေ
with
မဲ့
the new
တော့ဒီပွဲက
ability
ဘိန်းနဲ့
and
တွေးထားတာ
so
ဆိုတော့နော်
Underlord if he's
Carol
ever
Player of
isolated
Carry
to
အဲ့တော့မှ
push
Luren
Dr.
Okay
Spectre will die like paper so in that
Necro
sense I
Bull
like
or
the pick,
Chiro
but again there's very little stuns in setup like you buy one Lotus Orb on Nigma and all of a sudden Liquid they have nothing they can't even gap close like they
အဲ့
can't
အဲ့
stop
အန်နာလို
anyone
လိန်
from
နေ
running
ပြဿ
away.
နာလဲသူတို့ဒေပဲစားကြတာနော်တဲ့မအန်နာလိုလဲဖန်
Yesterday we watched
စပတ်တာ
Nigma
လို့လိန်နေတဲ့ကောင်ကြီးကလည်းဖန်
was
ခွင့်ရ
the
အောင်
draft.
မယ်ဆိုရင်တော့မစိုးပါဘူး
Didn't
ပဲ liquid စင်းစား
necessarily favor them quite the opposite in my opinion and they actually
အဲ့တော့ဆောင်းမပြောလို့ပဲပြောတယ်ကောင်မ drop ကအားနေချက်ကလည်းအဲ့လိုအရင်ပြောတဲ့ကောင်တွေများနေတာဆိုတော့စပတ်တာနဲ့တော့ night တော့ night ကြည့်မယ်ဆိုရနေတာပဲ drop ကတော့ကိုမြင်မှာတော့ဒီကောင်မအားလီအားသာကြအများကြီးချင်ဒီကောင်မမှာ50လောက်ပဲဒီ drop ကတော့အားလီတို့ဒီကောင်မစားရမယ်လေကင်းဆိုရင် expert ကြီးနဲ့ရှုံးမှာဆိုတော့
but still the
Hello, Pung Zan,
damage, chance, Reaper side Spectre, like she comes into a fight. This is not a hero that is buying like any region items, so any kind of damage.
မကြိုက်ပြီးရှုံးမှာဟုတ်လားရှေ့ကကိုကြောင်းပြတ်နေတာတင်နေအဲ့ရက်တွေက
So it's gonna be susceptible.
ဟုတ်တယ်တုံးတုံးနဲ့ချိုးလို့မရအောင်
There is some
အဲ့တော့ဒီကောင်မအားလီပဲတာမှာလေကင်းဆိုင်ကောင်ဟိုကတုံးတုံးတောင် spider ဟောင်းနဲ့လှုပ်လိုက်တာနဲ့သိတာဘာမှလှုပ်လို့မရအောင်ထွက်ပြေးရမယ်ခွာတော်တော်မမိုက်ဘူးပြီးရင်နီရှားလိုက်ဖမ်းပါနဲ့
Again, no stuns. They're very good at grouping up, and Spectre doesn't really have.
အဲ့တော့ဒီကောင်မတော့ကတော့အဲ့လိုအားလီတီးတန်ပဲဒီပွဲကရှယ်ရိုဖင်ဘိန်းကွာလိန်ကအသေးသားမှာနဂရိုဘုတ်မြကလည်းအမ်းပေါက်တေချာပေါက်တာမှာစပတ်တာလိန်ကလည်းဒီကောင်မနေစရာမရှိဘူးဆိုတော့အဲ့လိုအားလီလိန်နေမှာတောင်းဆော့ပြီးတော့
Spectre has no one to play
စ
with
ပတ်တာချိန်မြောက်ခင်ဖိနိုင်မလားပေါ့လေနော်လေကင်းကတော့တော်တော်မလွယ်ဘူးဟုတ်တယ်တုံးတုံးနဲ့ချိုးလို့မရစပတ်တာကိုလည်းရှင်းချမယ်ကောင်မပါဘူး
What is a good Spectre game?
And
What does it
Mario,
look like? What
pero
are you
kuwari
looking for?
ligin
Which
yan.
timings? Like if this
အဲ့
Spectre
တော့
is
ကို
gonna
လက်ပါ
pop
ဒီ
off,
ကောင်မအနေနဲ့အားလီကိန်းနော်
I mean the difference now
Pero
is that
pinay nila
Spectre can
pida,
actually
eh.
win the lane pretty convincingly so I
က
like
ကင်းကိုပါလေးတော့ရှိုက်တယ်မနေ့က
you have a lot of follow-up damage on Malin
လူတိတ်လေးလာရေကတူးလေးကင်းကိုပါလေးနဲ့တော့ပြရ
better carry matchup it's the case this game SF is never going to scale into a Spectre so the hero is just good all around
ဟိုနေကောင်မနိုင်တော့အားလီကိုကေးပါဟုတ်လားအားလီလိုက်ဖိပြီးကေးတာ
every game is a good Spectre game essentially that's what a Spectre fan will tell you
well, this is the first Spectre game of this EWC,
စိုက်
so very
liquid
curious to
ကို
see
ဆိုရင်တော့အဲ့လိုမျိုးပေါ့လေကိုပြောလေကင်းရောက်တော့ liquid တေချာတော့စား
We started also about the offlaners and how we wanted both of them to be set up for success. We got Ace on the Undying, we got the Vi on the Underlord. Look, how do we
ကဲ
feel about
53
them?
over 54ပါ
I
ရော
would not love to play this Underlord early on, like Witch Doctor, one of the best, if not the best, position 5 to completely zone you out, sluggish heroes. He's gonna get the
Hero ba
treatment
jai
in
de
this
bro?
lane, but also looking at Undying, that's
အဲ့ဒီနေ့က risk ယူပြီးတော့
It's not the
အင်
lane
္ဂိမ်းတန်တော့
that
ထုတ်လိုက်မယ်နော်ကိုလည်းကြည့်ရတိုင်ပတ်ဒါပေမဲ့အဲ့ brand ကမှလည်းကြောက်တယ်ဒါပေမဲ့မထူးတော့ပါဘူး
make something happen against this Shadow Fiend in the
Brand က
center.
လည်းအတိတာကြီး
Keeper of the Light, it might be good. This is the lane that I'm gonna be looking at the most.
Okay, and we're gonna look at if Nisha is gonna live through this as we head
အေး
over to Cap and
နီ
SPG.
ချားလေးနီချားလေးအဲ့ဒါပြောတာနော်
With an early pitch, they're going to hit a double raise.
ဒီဥပဒေလိုက်တယ် Smell first blood
First blood in a draft that was already seemingly favoring Nigma Galaxy. They start off with Carry having some extra gold.
ကြည့်ရပါပြီ
And some extra souls. And 6
Extra
bonus
souls.
damage.
first blood လေးနဲ့စားလိုက်ရ
See
တ
if
န်
there's that little win rate skew. I think first blood on a 1 or 2 is around 1 to 2%. So glad to see that Gabe Newell agrees.
တိုက်တီဆို bro မင်္ဂလာ
That's
ပါ
a
ဘ
very
ရို
interesting Spectre pick. I mean,
အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော် e-sport world cup တွေကတော့တောက်လျှောက်ဟဲမယ်နော်ကိုရှိမှကြောင်းရမ်းပြောက်သွားတာ
picks from
အဲ့
Liquid
ဒါ
are
ခီး
all
သွား
kind
နေ
of
လို့
soft enablers, right?
အာရထက်လို့ပြန်ဒါပေမဲ့ cherry pit မရှိဘူးပေါ့
Little disables, some slows, some amps, some healing. but
ဟိုရတော့
nothing
သွေးလျှော့ရဆိုတဲ့အနေထားပဲ
massive punch.
အာဘာအမတက်လျှော့ပါတဲ့လားကေးဟိုပါလို့ပွဲမစားခင်နှစ်ကောင်အသာနဲ့ကြည့်လိုက်ရ
That's gonna be 4 runes for Nigma Galaxy. That's worth because that's not first blood. So I actually don't mind that death. Big wins for Nigma Galaxy going in this laning phase. So they needed a big hitter in this last pick if you're Liquid. And I think Spectre can be that hero. Definitely fits the archetype as a hero that can 1v5 a game, true, solo carry style. Consider it like Spectre, Faceless Void, and PL in the right PL game are still in that category. Now, I guess the big question is,
ကဲပေါ်မှာလည်းလျှော့ပြီ
a game
ဟုတ်
Spectre
စီ
can
အော်
1v5.
ကောင်းလိုက်တာဟဲ့အောင်ကြီး
Man, it's just
တော့ဒီကောင်မကတော့နောက် 1k တွေပါဖြစ်နေပြီ
right away.
ပြောရင်တော့မနေ့တည်း e-sport world cup ကရောက်ရင်ဒီတော့ group stage မှာတွေက quality တွေဖြစ်
This Underlord doesn't quite work out for him, though they do get the range creep deny at least. What are your thoughts about the Undying pickup here? I mean, this does not seem like a great setup for Undying offline.
တော့မနေ့က VC game တဲ့သိန်းလောက်ချီတာ Shadow Fin lane ရှုံးသွားတာသူတို့ဒီပတ်မှာဒီပတ်က Shadow Fin lane equal to lane အသာစောင်းပြဲတယ်အကယ်လို့
Dagger and just kind of blink on them. Like
ဒီကောင်ကပြေးတယ်လို့အားလေးတော့ချက်သားမှာနော်စပတ်တာကဘာမှမလုပ်နိုင်နေတဲ့အချိန်ကြီးလား NI ကလည်းဘာ damage တစ်ပြုံးနဲ့ပြတ်မှာ
throw up here, so I expect his laning phase to be absolutely miserable.
ဒီရှားကလည်း mid ကတေချာပေါက်နေမှာဒီပွဲက Necro Amber ဆိုတော့အဲ့လိုအားလေးတော့တာမယ်ကွာအားလေးကိုယုံတော့တဲ့ဒါပေမဲ့အီအောင်ပြပြီးလေရင်းသွားရင်တော့ဒီကောင်မချုံနေတာ
Doctor can do some decent work
ဒီ
here.
ဘက်ပြောခက်တယ် drop ကတော့
Laner
quickly
than she was in the past. So I think Liquid will be fine down here. But you're probably not stopping Devi getting something if he lanes straight up what she is. And
duration တော့ over ကြိုက်တယ်ဒီကောင်မနိုင်တော့
super good.
တော့ချိုးကိုနည်းနည်းလေးခက်လိုက်တယ်ဒီကောင်
Glimmers, Lotus Orbs. Again, they have very limited
All
stuns.
time.
Which Doctor needs damage to go in to enable him.
ကဲမဲ့မှာလောတော့ကျုံးနေပြီ
To me, I don't
ပြ
know.
ပြန်စားလောက်တော့ပြ
Some crazy stuff's going to have to happen for Liquid to feel comfortable at like the 30, 40, 50-minute mark with the Spectre scaling and being able to just dice these core heroes up. Because I think this Necrophos is going to get absolutely massive, and he can.
ဟုတ်တယ်ရောင်းရင်အောက်မှာ push run နဲ့နောက် end the law အပိုင်ရောရိုက်တယ်ဆိုပေမဲ့ Michael trade gear ပြန်ရသွားသေးတယ်
will probably be worse for wear here as Devi gets a little bit of extra damage on him on the way out.
I was looking up some of the stat count.
လောလောကကောင်းနေတော့တစ်ချက်ကဒီကောင်အဲ့လိုမျိုးဟိုနည်းနည်းဘယ်လိုပြောမလဲ gay hero ဘာညာဆိုလည်းရတယ်ကွာ Haskar တွေပါတယ်ဒီကောင် let's spin တော့ sound pan ခက်သူ technician Amber နဲ့ Stone Fruit တွေကလည်းရှိတယ်ပတ်တွေပါတယ်လည်းမိုက်
Heroes that group up, push, don't give you good desolate targets. They're going to make your life hard. And I think this is a lineup that could do that for Nigma Galaxy, right? There's a decent amount of group, but there also are targets he can jump. He's great against the supports, he's great against the SF, so this pick really could go either way. I see the arguments for it. I could also just see it fall flat if Nigma Galaxy get a bunch of utility up.
Now, we did actually see a Spectre picked up just earlier today
ကြီးကလှုပ်ပြဲနေတာကွာ
in the Rune Eaters versus Boom Boys matchup, where Rune Eaters did manage to get the upset over them. Build looks pretty normal. Radiance, Manta, Scotty, do you think of this sort of game? Radiance and break it apart for an earlier nullifier to try and just shut down the Necrophos 1-1?
Not super early. He's actually going to go earn first here.
Okay.
Which I think
ကဲကောင်းတဲ့နေချောက် tower brain ထဲမှာဖျဲဖို့ကြိုးစား
there's some
တော့
weird thing where
နား
you
လိုက်
see
တယ်
a lot of mids who also want earn.
အဲ့တော့နော်နေချောက်လည်းချိန်နေတဲ့ဒီဘက်မှာ magic stick တွေပါတယ်လည်းမရှိသေးဘူးဆိုတော့
Because Distiller is
It's alright,
easy
don't
on
know
this
how
hero.
hard.
You already have a vision mechanic. There's like a lot of weird things with the earn upgrade on Spectre. And it's not a jungle farming tool, right? So you got to get aggressive. You got to find some kills to make this work. Definitely fits Mickey style. I like it. See if you can get some charges cooking here. But then you really just have to go to like Trex Radiance. Zero needs Radiance.
Desperately needs a refill.
နေချာလေးသွားပြီနေချာလေးမှားသွားပြီအမေဖက်နဲ့လာပြီးသွားတယ်ကွာ
High levels of the Flame Guard will help protect against this magic
Flame
damage,
Guard
but even
again.
still, the Fairy
Shut up.
Fire and the bottle charges are going to be expended.
Homa
And pretty much
Caria,
ends up where he was
pati
before.
pewa.
Ace tries to get aggressive
Kaya
at the top
Bomale,
lane.
there's some
Maybe he got
no-
Nightmare
Ace
out of
Yara
position
Yara.
there.
He did a total
This is
don't
really
mind the game.
deadly.
No.
Nightmare pull you into a bad
Oh,
position.
Male,
One
there are
push
Booster
right,
and a
one
combo
lane,
you are
it's
here,
gonna be
and
total
you are
dead.
Mikhail.
Liquid is just going to be losing all of
Yeah.
these lanes, it seems, as this bottom lane was the one hope for Liquid.
Oh.
And it now has seemingly been won by Nigma.
ဒီချက်ညတော့ကောင်းပါတယ်ကွာဖက်နဲ့ရသွားမစိုးဘူးနော်တစ်လုံးလုံးစားလိုက်ရတော့မကနည်းနည်းလေးထိန်းလို့စင်ပြီကွာ
Their lane on any of these three.
Yeah.
Just in a vacuum. I think there is some outplay potential with the dog.
quality KO value up here.
And that means you're not getting earn charges, which means you can't just snowball that out of control. So some work to be done here for Liquid. Maybe some rotations coming through from.
Yeah, but their supports aren't the best at doing that rotation.
Yeah, exactly. Got to be wary of this Reaper kill mid too. Lornoff will get there first. You always look for it in this Ember matchup, and Nisha just suffering, man. Got thrown to the wolves here.
ဟုတ်တယ်နေချပိုရုံးနေပတ်ကောက်ပြီလေအစင်မပြေပြေအောင်လုပ်တာမဲဒီမတာရဲ့ထုံးစံတိုင်းပဲဟို Shadow Fin lane ရတယ်ကွာနေတာပဲပုံမှန်လိုဖြစ်နေပြီဒါကြီးက
To just get by the rest of the laning phase.
ပုံမှန်လေ Ace ကဆဲကောနောက်ပြီးတော့ Ace ဖြစ်နေရလဲစိုးတယ်ကွာ Ace ကပုံမှန်တော့နေကျင်တယ်အဲ့တော့မှ Shadow Fin နဲ့ဒိန်းလိုက်ရတော့ online ကစမုန်းတော်တော်ကြီးအဆင်ပြေတယ်
Because right now we're obviously not seeing anything good about Liquid's draft.
I think you will need a fast blink on the Undying.
Okay.
We've seen some people just go first item blink. It might be that kind of game. You have to get some fights going between hitting the Ember and the supports behind that. Abuse Chakra Magic around the map. you need a vessel in this game. And I assume it's going to be the Ember, but his vessel is going to be mega slow because he had the rough lane. Still, you have to find a way to get there and just start killing people, honestly. Like, that's what this lineup's designed to do.
Oh my god, prepare might have
the SF to play every single time. It's Undying, blinking on him with a Flesh Golem. Spectre jumps on him instantly.
Your spells are strong. About that. Even if you're behind a net worth, you have very powerful spells if you can get the skirmishes and the fights going and drag Nigma.
အဲ့တော့3လေဂိမ်းရောက်မယ်ထင်တော့တဲ့အားလီဂိမ်းကတော့ hero ကြောင့်နေနေတာမျိုးပဲပြောရမယ်ဘလို့ကြီးအရင်စုပ်ပြတ်နေတာမျိုးတော့မဟုတ်မိနစ်40လောက်ထိပွဲရခံသွားမယ်ဆိုတော့ဒီကောင်မမောက်
trying to get out of the range of this witch doctor does not want to be caught
ဟုတ်တယ်
in that
ဒါပိုင်းမြန်ကောင်းသွားတယ်
will finally teleport away
ကဲတော့မင်းကတော့တာဝါတွေမထိနေပြီဆိုတော့ဒီတော့ robot site တွေပါလေရှိနေနော် site နဲ့
tower is almost gone. And now Lornoff is going to start strolling his way over the Wisdom Shrine. Liquid may see this coming, but...
9 မိနစ်အောင် Wisdom တွေပါလာလူနေတာဒါတော့အန်နေများသွားပြီ
And Lornoff is actually...
Out shall be,
it's going to be full heal for him.
လူနေတော့ပြန် heal လိုက်တော့ heal ရဆိုပေမဲ့ပေါ်မှာ small ကတော့တောက်လျှောက်ကျွန်တော်တို့ Wisdom တွေမှာ hair နေတာကောင်းသွားပြီအောင်ရင်ဟိုမှာ Wisdom တော့ရပြီ
Okay.
Maybe if you had Haunt there was some potential action, but Lornoff, he knows his limits. He had full on Fairy Fire, Ghost Shroud in the bank.
He's going to take your stacks. I mean, absolutely everything is working out for Nigma Galaxy right now.
This is looking rough for Ace. No lane, you can't pull the waves against the Bane. You stack, and then your stacks got stolen. You lost the Wisdom Shrine, and now you're getting...
Oh, check that look, my dialogue. Ali game out. Oh, smell. Oh, there we are. They get loaded. They come on here doing it.
As well, nice cast.
They come on. Hold there. Liquid Ali, you eh? Ali game hero, baby. Like my, like that. Yeah, make a let our Juro mano.
Mickey, boy, Mickey.
They couldn't wait to tower.
A whole lot done in this game. It feels like.
Misha does not get the rune. Well, we would have loved that amp damage. That's something that could have given you some opportunities in this game. Instead of just damage lane into your mid tower.
Hey, you know you're feeling good when Necropos is able to hold on to 1,500 gold first and just hit the mid tower.
Hey, okay,
well, that was a bit optimistic to go for the dive behind tower during nighttime to get the positioning, but the ward was there.
I will say that's not a ward you expect.
No, not at all.
It's just a ward.
He was yes,
trying to protect the Ember.
Enemy at tower me what now? Yeah, we all
to be there.
Look at tower now. What down me tower but you are. He show.
If they're placing a ward like that,
it's a natural place for Bane to kind of roam with the nighttime vision and just kind of aggressively scout when you've won your lane this hard.
Yeah, I
could see the argument. It's just not a ward that's going to provide you a lot of innate value other than blocking that specific play.
Yeah,
but hey, it blocked that specific play, so.
Okay, for my chống này ông mày. Là về gọi ra.
Ceaseless Dirge will bring.
Không phải là một bà đấy.
But yeah, where do you go? You don't have a lane to play.
Into the jungle with decay. Ugh, that does not sound like a
good
place to be. Who's a trap?
Nó có rồi. Rồi về có thì bên này có mà rồi mà thế là bảo là này có mà rất là đúng không? Ali game mà Ali game này có mà ai này có. Rồi rất là ấy. Mình nên sẽ nào bài nó sang á rồi mà này lâu rất là. Rồi thì bữa nay là không đâu mà vô mà rồi mà này mà spider này.แต่มาอะไรมันท้าเช่าสนุกบ่ပြီးတော့ဖိမာရရ
GH looking for some
အခုနေကမသားနေစပေမဲ့အဲ့လိုမျိုးပေါ့လေလေရောက်သွားရင်တော့မလို့ရ
Mickey has been free farming. So it's been working out well for the Spectre. None of the pressure's gone into him. There hasn't been some game.
စတာမလေး7 minute ပဲရှိသေးတယ် AC game 1ပဲရှိသေးတယ်
That said, he also still doesn't have earn charges, so he's looking for
ကဲအခု report site တွေပါရတော့မသုံးပါသေးဘူး
You've delayed your own build up on the Radiance by going earn, which has been no value so far. Trying to get the bushwhack. A little bit of a poke here.
Oh, yeah, hold on, it's okay,
slowing down. Boy, they're really reliant on blood grenades to help set up these kills.
And it just didn't go anywhere.
Oh, that's sad.
Mega awkward. Maybe we get a replay. That was kind of funny, but none of the little things going right for Liquid right now. As this tower is probably just going to die to this catapult wave. I don't think you can defend it.
Yeah, but Mikel, the radiant and so on. No, this was totally. Look, change you are legging. Kill me on you.
Pretty nasty combo.
The mentor is in it. Ali might charge him. Spider mode. Radiant.
Oh yeah, that little slow.
Kill ပါပဲဟုတ်တယ် kill ပါပဲတဲ့နေဟောနေကမပြန်မားမယ်ဆိုတော့ ခံစားချက်လေးရရတယ်တော့ကေးတွေကထွက်မယ်တဲ့
denied.
Oh, that's value.
So, but are you going to be able to deny this tower as
ခု
well?
လက်ချီကတော့နေရာတိုင်းမှာနေကမာခြေတွေမနဲ့ဘောလဲတာဝကျိုးတော့
Tier 1 Necrophos pushing deep into the tier 2 mid area.
နေရာတိုင်းမှာနေကမာလုတ်ကွက်တွေကြီးပဲဖြစ်တယ်
No capabilities to stop any of this.
How do you defend your ancient stack if this tower goes down?
တောင်ဖမ်းမှာဟုတ်ပါတော့အတွေ့အကြုံကစကားပြောတဲ့နေကမာ
Last refuge you have.
နေကမာဘောတွေအမြဲကြည့်နေတဲ့လူတွေကတော့သိဟလား
What is he doing in this game? It's looking rough.
Well, here it comes. Triple raise plus.
Oh,
the
yeah, so that
Necrophos
was
they can clear out
အဲ့ဒါရတော့တန်သွားပြီ
pretty quickly.
That's pretty fast.
And it's just gone.
Oh shit နှစ်ကြီးပဲ
Might take.
Got none of it. Oh, you got one creep.
Yeah, one creep with a blinding light. That's it.
That's pretty sad.
So now it's a 4,000 net worth lead. Chasing out
အော်
to
ဘူ
the
ချက်က
squirrel.
တဲချုပ်တယ်လွဲသွားတယ်
Can't stop him.
You need Solarbind. You need Death Ward. You need it now. You need this Vessel on the Ember too. Then you'll have some kill power. Then you can threaten this Necrophos before he has Dispels online. It will be an amazing Lotus Orb game for the Necrophos, but if he goes the Radiance first, it will be a long time coming. So you will have a window to punish Lornoff here, especially with Haunt coming through on top.
အဲ့တော့နော်မကဲတော့
lot of extra damage
ဗီဒီယိုလုံးဝ
Not getting a whole lot of value out of
သွား
this.
နေတာဆိုတော့နေကမာနေနဲ့အဲ့လိုတာဝါတွေမှာချက်ချိုးမလားအောင်လန်းတာဝါတွေနော် liquid ချဖို့ကမလွယ်သေးဘူးဒီချိန်
Yeah, it's not on him. It's just the rest of the team is entirely incapable of setting up a kill.
Maybe you were supposed to haunt to when they were stealing your ancients to just reality in to get the XP off. Like haunt dagger the ancient stack to try and steal some of
ဒီ
the
ခေါ်
creeps.
စရာအနေရအများအခုဒီချိန်က liquid လည်းမထည့်ရဘူးနေကမာလည်းမထည့်ရဘူးဒီချိန်က
That's an eternal MP play for sure.
Every nightmare is so scary. Like he's not gonna die here, but Ace is probably wondering, oh god, is the Shadow Fiend here? Am I dead again?
ဟုတ်တယ်နေကမာအဲ့ပြ
Am
ပြ
I
မော
about
င်း
to
နေ
get
ကော
triple raised or requiemed?
အားလိတိုင်တိတ်မယုံအောင်အဲ့တဲ့
And it could also be Boozer travels in from Lornoff, who is rapidly farming his way to Radiance. He's going to get to that Radiance before the Spectre does.
For sure.
Ace ကဟုတ်တယ် Ace ကမပါဘူးသူကတစ်ခါကြမ်းမပါ liquid မှာစောင့်နေတယ်ဆိုပေမဲ့သူပါခြင်းနဲ့ပွဲပါတယ်မပါခြင်းနဲ့ပွဲလို့လည်းတော့မပါ
It's
ဘူး
a
ပွဲ
very
လို့
nasty combo. Not a lot that Nigma Galaxy can do
ဒီ
against
မ
it
ရှောက်
in
ကေး
terms of
ဖန်တီးပေးမရ
spell.
မယ်ကွာဟုတ်တယ် separate ပဲကြီးသွားပြီးတော့ကေးကလုံးဝမတော့ဘူး
This is the time to get something
တခုခု
cooking.
လုံးမရ
13-minute Wisdom Shrines coming. You know they're likely going to look for it. You just need a
Oh,
cheeky
yeah,
support
Sumail
kill
နဲ့တွေ့ပြီ
here
ထင်တယ်
to activate the combination.
Sumail-
They can
တဲ
find
တော့မ
some
ဖြစ်လောက်
This would be massive. Pop
ကဲ
out
က
from
လိုက်မလား
G.
Sumail အို M1 သွားပွင့်သွားပြီအောင် Ace Sumail အနေနဲ့ကတော့ Prophetic ပြန်ပေးနေတယ်ဆိုပေမဲ့မရတော့ဘူး Sumail မှားသွားပြီနောက်မှာ Spectre စစ်ကြီးကြလာတဲ့နောက်မှာတော့အော်ရှေ့မှာလည်းဒီရှာကိုက်ခံလိုက်ရပြီဆိုတဲ့နောက်မှာ Nigma အကောင်လုံးပြန်ရဖို့တော့ခြေတယ်ဟုတ်တယ် အော်ဒါပေမဲ့နောက်မှာ Anna လည်းထိုးနေနေသေးတာ
Hits a big decay on
ဟို
three.
မှာ show ကနေလေးအောင်
Can he finish
အော်
off the war? At least he
Ace
does.
ပါပြီ
Triple kill for Ace.
ကဲ
He's on
trap
the
back ကေးပါ
course.
အာနော်နောက်ဆုံးတော့ Ace ကပါပါပြီတဲ့ဒီဘက်ထဲ
And
မှာ
breathe a sigh of relief. He's got a bit of a game to play
ဒီ
with.
မှာ
He
ဟော
won't
တာ
get
ဟို
blue
ဘက်က
tag
စတက်မရှိဘူးဒီကောင်စိုးကလိုက်ရင် Ace လွတ်တယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ M1 ဖွင့်နေပါပြီ
Those three, but you'll take this fight. It's a great target to start on.
ဒါတော့လုံးဝ mid play လို့တော့ပြောလို့ရတယ်
The
Sumail
Requiem off. That's the power of the Ember mobility. Unfortunately, mobility is right into a deep grip that no one can cancel because you have very limited stuns.
I actually
Must have been
legitimately think
Milk
it's the
Lipio.
best core for them. Because I think Spectre and Ember Spirit will be able to recover. I think if you don't
You
get
think
this
he needed
Undying Blink Dagger right now, he's going to be useless for the rest of the game.
Yeah, maybe
right?
there's some truth in that.
ဒီဘက်ကကျုံးတယ်ဟိုကပြကိုကကြောင့်53
He
ယူ
can do
လိုက်
some work. Like,
တဲ့
his
မှာလေ
spells
ကို
are
ပြော
super
လို့ပဲ
strong here. He has a
ငါမတားတယ်ကွာဒါပေမဲ့ပွဲကကြာအောင်ပါပဲ
That's
ကြာ
something
မှာပါ
you need
ညာ
to
လေ
avoid in this early game, right? If you can just like jump, even if you, yeah, the SF's scary, but if you can just flesh golem.
Liquid နိုင်တော့တေချာပေါ့ KO ပါမှာငါကမနိုင်လဲကိုပြောလို့ငါကမတည်းမှာတောက်ချောက်အဲ့လို
Yeah.
ပြီးသွားဖို့ဆိုတော့သူတို့အသင်းပုံစံတွေကတိတ်မလွယ်
Here, if you can ever just jump on top of Devi, you really ruin his day.
Yeah, the Flesh Golem hit really enables the, I mean, they just do not have great damage on Liquid right now. But if you get a Solar Bind and that Flesh Golem hit, it amps up the little damage that they have by a lot.
Flesh Golem, Solar Bind, Vessel, Spectre haunts on you. You're gonna be gone in like 1 second.
Yeah.
And that's what they're looking for here.
ကဲဒီဘက်က
Also,
ကျွန်
he
တော်
should
လိုရ
have
အောင်
got a
radiant
lot of charges out of that fight
Four.
since he died pretty
Radiant.
late. Checking for another kill up here. GH They get the Nightmare off.
Okay,
but
yeah,
he's
Solar
hit by the
Soldier, no?
Soul
Keep
Bomb,
on Ember,
the
yeah.
Nightmare. Easy kill. Will it be enough to take over this area and claim their first tower? Liquid has gotten pretty much no objective damage done anywhere on this map.
Really abusing the freedom the Ember has right now. Underlord Ags will change that considerably.
Oh, yeah.
And it will be rushed here.
Carol,
But he's
BQB,
pretty poor, all
people
things considered. Like, he did not
ကို
have
က
a
ဆိုးရ
great
မဆိုးပါဘူး
phase.
Spectre တွေဘာတွေလဲလေဂိမ်းကြရင်အဲ့လိုနော် damage ပေးလို့
Could have a
Raw
little window.
Toast build into the Aghanim Scepter.
I think it's still viable.
I think this game it's pretty good, right?
The thing is, Gleipnir is not as...
ဟုတ်တယ် drug ကကိုလည်း50 50ပဲခဏ
and you have a lot of people that prefer
Chain bomb
Shivas for
မှာပဲ
the
မူတည်
Chasm
မှာဒီ
Stone
ကောင်တွေက
build-up over the Gleipnir. So
Ace က
then
နော်
you
ဒါကအစိုးရတော့
don't
အနိုင်
Right.
မျိုးဘာမှတော့
You don't want to go Gleipnir if you want Shivas. You're overlapping Chasm Stone.
ဒီကောင်တွေကလို့စပူလာတွေကိုတော်တော်ထိုးကျင်နေတယ်သိလား Spectre တွေရော Ember တွေရောပါတော့မှာ Ace ကအဲ့လိုဒါကန်နဲ့မှလိုက်ရိုက်မဲ့အနေ
I
ထား
kind of want it, but I'd rather have Shivas in my 5 or 6 slots.
All right, Ace is going to heal up, and the Radiance is going to be done for Mickey. It's a lot of focus on what Liquid's doing, because frankly, I think Nigma Galaxy, time goes on with Liquid not doing anything, it's probably good for Nigma Galaxy. They're going to be out farming you. They've got SF, Underlord, and Necrophos, who are all just going to be greedily soaking up all the neutrals on the map.
They're chilling. They have a lot of time to scale in this game with this Tricore, especially Lornoff. He's just powering into some nice dispels. It's going to make him invincible in this game. Right now, he's very susceptible. If you walk this Necro into the fight, he is going to get massacred, right? You're getting Soulbound Vessel and just chunked.
Yep.
He needs at least one defensive item, so he's fine farming right now. He's not in a rush. And if the fight breaks out, he will join that fight as the secondary apron, so to say. But he
This
does
Spectre
not
လောက်
need
နေ
the
ဝိ
first
စ
point.
ပတာတက်တန်းပြန်တယ်မနေ့မနေ့ကတနေ့ရဆော
Excellent timing to be
အာ
clearing
ရ
this
စ
out.
မိန်
Once he
ပေးရ
goes
တော့မလားမသိဘူး
back, it's the camp
Manta, though.
spawn, but he...
ဆက်ကတော့ရှိသေးတယ်အောင်ကင်းရဟမ်ရပြီကောင်းနေ
Yeah.
Liquid က smooth ကန်
One or two dispels go a long ways
Oh, yeah.
in this lineup.
အမေငါမနဲ့ဆိုင်တော့ဆိုင်ပါ
Smoke here
ရေး
from
investment
Nigma Galaxy with an Invis rune on GH breaks and gets some information.
ဟောအဲ့တကောင်တိုက်လေးလောက်လိုက်ပါအဲ့ဒါဟောအိုးနော်မ Spectre စင်းတော့စင်းလာရဆိုပေမဲ့ကောင်းပါပြီရှင်းမနီရှာတော့ချက်တော့ထင်းငယ်နေရပြီးတော့ပဲစလုံး share ပြစ်တဲ့နောက်မှာ Nigma easy go in man ဟောဒီက Ace ပါထက်ရအောင်
Dealing with this. In fact, he's just going to die. This is going to be 4
ဟုတ်တ
dead.
ယ်
This Liquid, nothing they could do about it. I think Mickey saw that fight.
He's
and was just
gonna go
like,
on,
"I
wow,
can't
the Kong
do
guy, the Kong
anything
eight."
here, boys.
အချင်းတုံးကပရဲမထိန်ပါ
Especially when your Ember is getting gripped. Like, just a 6 setup from GH with that Invis rune. He already has an Aether Lens done. That is a disgustingly fast time for Aether Lens on Bane. Extremely good this game because he can be the
လူမ
first
များဘူး
person every time. And
ခဏနေပါဦးမိနစ်20မကျော်သေးဘူးနော်
happy. So you get a sleep on the Doctor, grip on the Ember. You Reaper the Coddle, which is kind of like whatever, right? And then you still win the fight.
Ace ကပြီးတော့
As
ထိုးရ
the
ထိုး
Ember just
မ
can't
များ
get
ဘူး
out of the pit. Double
Maybe
pit
I
here
get a
off
foot
the
down.
Axe Underlord reveal. And Sumail is just sitting there dishing the DPS. So this game is getting a little concerning now for Liquid. Can't lose too many of those types.
အဲ့ Liquid တော့တိုင်ပတ်ပြီအာလီဂိမ်းအေးအမစပတ်တာပါချော
Bushwhack Kamar catches Mickey, so he's
နော်
going to die
အာလီ
as
ဂိမ်းက
well.
တော်တော်ပျောက်သွားပြီ
Effectively,
လိုရာထပ်
a
ပူ
bit of
ပြီ
a drawn out
မာဒီယုံနကရိုချေရုံဖီနောဝေါ်ရ
Spectre was the only
ဒီ
survivor.
ဥပါပါအဲ့နေများပြီက Liquid ကနဗရေကြာ
Out of control, 10k.
I think it's getting a lot out of control. In fact, the game
မ
is
တီ
pretty
အိုင်
much,
ရပြီ
I don't know if
ပြော
Liquid
လို့တော့မရဘူးပြောလို့တော့မရဘူး
capable of being able to bring
Liquid
this
ကိုစောနေတဲ့
back
ပုံ
from
လေးရတယ်
this
တကယ်
point
ကောင်း
if Nigma Galaxy plays, you know, near perfect.
The threat with this Bane running around with such an early Aether Lens is just... It's pretty nasty.
ဒီရှောက်တွေ့သွားပြီ
Mar trying to juke at the trees. Boxy spots him, blows him up. So they do get that.
အော်တော့
LGH
အန်တိုင်းရ
as well. Some support.
ဟုတ်တော့ဟုတ်တယ်
Boxy
ရောင်းရ
still have the
ကောင်းတယ်
capability
Liquid
to
နှစ်ကောင်
do
ပြန်
that
ရသွားပြီ
Little something going their way.
အောက်မှာလည်းဘောက်စီနဲ့
I don't know. I'm still concerned about the
ဟို
dispels.
မှာလည်းရန်ဖြစ်ပြီဘောက်စီက
I
ကေး
feel
ပါ
like
ရ
every defensive item Nigma Galaxy get in this game is going to go such
ကဲ
a
Liquid
long
ချုပ်
way.
နေဆိုတော့နည်းနည်းလေးကေးပေးသွားမလားနော်
Well, you do have a
Outside the show while we're
trying to
out.
get to a BKB. If he gets to a BKB, he still has that physical damage problem. We saw Sumail actually do pretty decently.
Has no armor
in
right
that
now.
man fight. Yeah,
He's pretty farmed though, considering the start.
yeah, he really is.
And it is a Spectre game. You can never underestimate winning one big team fight with this hero.
Yeah,
He gets guaranteed assist gold on everybody. just farms the map with the Manta Radiant Solutions afterwards. He can absolutely become highest net worth very quickly here if things go his way.
It's just up to Nigma Galaxy not to let that slip up happen. Give Liquid a chance back into the game. Ember Spirit is going to join this side of the map here. The smoke, two-man smoke here from the two supports.
Looking for Mickey, but he got out of that area.
Yeah, not going to find him.
ကဲ Russian တွေဘာတွေထိ post မှာတော့မတော့ယူလိုက်ရအောင်ရ
Taking
အချင်း
over
လို့
this
ဖဲတော့မရ
area enough that they feel confident to do the Tormentor.
ဖဲတော့မရ
They've got very good Tormentor options. I mean, if it goes into the Hoodwink, that's definitely the best.
ဟုတ်တယ်နောက်ပိုင်း support ရမလွယ်ဘူးစပတ်တာအောင် ammo
Boomerang to amp up the
And I
damage
didn't
instead of
attack on it.
GH, who will now have some better opportunities to farm with AoE Brain Sap.
အခုက spread up fan နေပြီနော် Radiant နဲ့ Zlan ကတော့နော်အဲ့ Zlan ပဲကြောက်တာမ
Shadowblade on Sumail, looking for a nice little Requiem Shadowblade pick off on the Ember, who does not have BKB yet. Does he linger? He has a sentry down. Should spot
ကဲ
this.
Sanji Rain တော့ပြောပါ
Yep.
Oh yeah
Necrophos mid.
Yeah, Necro show ပြီးတယ်နဲ့လူရန်ကတကောင်နဲ့မျောနေတာမြင်ပါ
Too
ဟာ
much to handle.
အဲ့ဒါပဲပေါ်လာတော့ရဲ့မိနစ်20ကျော်လာပြီနော်ဒီကောင်မှအန်ဒီများတယ်
I guess, but Ace he's in trouble again. Sumail is so.
အဲစနိုးပြန်ပတ်တော့သွားပြီစမေးရောင်းစားခံရတယ်ဒီကောင်မှတယောက်တပွဲတွေ
They do manage to catch him though. Got him inside the cast with the Maledict. Toss him up in the air, not allowing the Requiem to go off. A bit of
အိုးဒါ
damage.
မင်းဝင်မတည်ဘူးစမေးကောင်းလိုက်တာကွာဆိုးတော့ပြန်ကဟဲ့အေးစေးအော်နောက်ဆုံးမကောင်းဆိုတော့ကြီးတော့ရသွားသေးတယ်ဒီဘက်မှာတက်ကားနဲ့
Mickey will receive that big bounty, 628 gold.
ဒီကိုပါတော့2 easy ပြောသွားပြီဟဲ့ရပြီနော်အဲ့လောက်ချပြောသွားပြီဆို
4 kills,
Yo.
but they will lose 4 heroes for it.
Again, a lot of things went
Oh,
their way,
yeah,
and
so
they
me,
still
no,
can't
damn it,
translate
yeah,
into some overwhelming victory.
Technically, they got more gold out of it.
Yeah, it's just because these heroes are far ahead now.
Yeah.
The streak is worth a decent amount. The last earn tick on that SF was a big win for Mickey. He got
အမရဟိုကောင်းလေချစ်တယ်ဘိုင်းကလည်းချစ်ဖို့ကောင်းတယ်စူမေးကိုထားခဲ့တယ်အဲ့ဒါ
where he has that defensive item. That's where he's weak. You want
အမကြည့်လိုက်အောင်ဒီကောင်အဲ့လိုကြီးထားခဲ့တယ်အမဒီကောင်ဘာညာ1 2တွေလုတ်ပေးနေတော့စူမေးအကုန်ပြစ်လို့ရတာ
kind of left the fight.
ကံကောင်းတယ်စူမေးကိုဟိုဒီကောင်မရတော့ဘူးဆိုပြီးထားခဲ့တာဒါပေမဲ့စူမေးအဲ့မရတော့ဘူးဆိုတဲ့ຢာတွေကကေးတွေပြန်ယူသွားတာကွာ
Smail not
Can't call
happy
him.
about that last earn tick. Would have loved to have survived there.
ဒါဘိုင်းရတယ်ကွာကျန်သွားပါတယ်
Sometimes you get
တော့
docked.
ပြီးမပြန်ရလား
What can you do?
Manta is almost done for Mickey. The BKB is done for Lornoff. So as you said, you had one opportunity
Okay,
to
and
shut
along-
down Lornoff a little bit.
ကြာတော့
That's
ကြာ
gonna be
စပ
the
တာ
last
ဟောင်းမရှိဘူးဒီ
opportunity.
ချိန်ချတာမိုက်
That defensive item is
Oh,
going to
there,
go
yeah.
a long, long ways. Divide not even really needed for this setup, just the pit itself.
ဒီကောင်မဟုတ်ရဲ့လားဟာဒီကောင်မပြန်လာနေပြီလေဘရိုရဲ့
Map control is going to start to pick up here. Your Necrophos can play more aggressively. This Bane is still just being able to run anywhere and do whatever he wants in terms of setup. Nord can join any of these sorts of fights. It just creates so much natural map pressure. Still looking for the BKB on the Ember.
ဒီကတော့ကျင်လို့အီတလန်မှာတစ်ဆင့်ခံတာပုံမဘိန်းနေလို့ဆက်ပြောင်းတမ်းမသွားဘူး
Only the grip.
အညာအီတလန်လေးနဲ့
The downside for him is there's not a lot to cancel the grip.
Yes.
I guess
It's literally Spectre needs to
just
jump
not kill
and
him.
kill the Bane fast enough.
it can happen pretty fast with Manta. If you haunt Manta on top of him, he gets hit by the Desolate. He will die like 3 volleys of all that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Pretty quick.
But that also takes away from what I thought the original game plan was him jumping on top of the SF alongside the Undying, right? That's what happened in that top team fight. He had to kill the Bane, and the Undying jumped on the
ကေ
SF.
ကိုပါတော်တော်ကောင်းပါပြီဖြစ်နိုင်နေတာမဟုတ်ကေကိုပါနိုင်မှုချန်က90လောက်ပြော
Lost
သွား
that fight.
It's got all punched together here. But they get their Manta, they get their BKB, they instantly smoke. Very fast play from
အဲ့ Ace ကလည်းတော့တော့နဲနေဆိုပေမဲ့ကောင်းတဲ့ချက်က BKB တိုင်းမိနဲ့တော့ပြင်နေတယ်လက်က M လည်း BKB နဲ့ဆိုတော့
Some of these heroes are still
ဟိုတော့နဲပေမဲ့ impact ကတော့မနဲဘူးကျုံးလို့ရတယ် Ace ပဲကျုံး
I mean, it would be pretty nice if they could go to the global hero in Devised Underlord, but he is so deep in the map right now, unlikely. Liquid making a little drawing here that they want to try and slip through the tier 1, tier 2. Don't let the smoke break. Get into the triangle. And if they could catch Devi, I mean, he's a very hard hero to bring down. 3,000
ကဲ
HP
ရှာ
with
ရှာ
a
နေ
height.
ရတယ်
He dies fast to Flesh Golem Solar Mine.
That's true.
He has no dispel, so you shouldn't worry about going on this Underlord.
He's going to show in the mid lane. They're going to re-smoke up. No, he doesn't quite show. He stays underneath his tower. Devi is just being just defensive enough that Liquid is failing to find this opportunity. Instead, it's going to be the straight 5-on-5 perhaps.
You know me,
And they've already got the pit on Nisha. Nisha trying to make his way up to
the high ground. BKB ဖမ်းကြည့်လိုက်ရတယ်မတုံးတုံးကြီးအောင်ရေး
နောက်
လျှောက်တော့ပြေးတော့ပြတော့ပြနေသေးတယ်ရပြီရှယ်လုံးပြတော့စောင်းဝင်တာလေအောင်ရေးဆိုပြီးတိုင်းမြင်ကြ
Trying to deal with the tombstone to lit the rest of his team
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Ace is in some trouble off that silver edge hit from Samael.
BKB
BKB Flesh Golem. And now with the TP, there's no way out. He's going to be caught and killed as well. So pretty easy for Nigma Galaxy, despite the fact that Liquid were set up in a nice high ground area with the tombstone and everything. It wasn't much of an issue for Nigma Galaxy.
With that high ground tomb against the Necrophos hasting up, it was a pretty nice rune on top of that BKB timing. You're trying really to jump to there. No one for him to jump an awkward engagement. I mean, on one side you can sit there with your tombstone, but you're also sitting in double pit firestorm.
Yeah.
ဟဲ့တခုရှိတာအဲ့စမေးအေးကြီးကြီးနေနော်အဲ့ ground တွေဒီရောက်ဝိုင်းတော့အဲ့နေများတယ်ဒီဟိုပါ
That'll be Roche and Aegis for Samael, so they do not have to worry about Samael getting jumped any longer. It's not been a problem for him the entire game, and now he's got an extra life to bolster that.
Looking at Nisha top, could burst him here.
Smell.
He can just wreck
ဖေးအောင်ခွဲနေလားဖေးအောင်ခွဲနေလား
the Shadow Walk.
ကောင်းပါပြီအောင်
Gotta time it with
Catch him on the slide, come back.
Requiem, oh, don't risk
I was gonna say he didn't walk into the second raise because he just
got
stuck on the tree. That was almost extremely unlucky for him, but he gets the kill anyway. Nice little pop.
You're
gonna get so much net worth off this kill because you can just collapse the lanes.
I
feel like one
because it's
Nigma Galaxy. There is still a chance here for Liquid because we've seen Nigma Galaxy mid games. And that's so many times something seems to go wrong.
I will say I think that Lornoff coming into the squad.
Sure.
Lornoff tends to carry. Compared to some of the pool, but honestly, he's not that much slower.
Now, easy no one there, not
this guy in your team when it goes to 40, 50, 60 minutes. Like we saw what he did with Ember yesterday. He will carry you. It's a very good 1-2 punch in terms of the confidence in the late game team fights, right? Even if you slip up a little, these two guys, they'll make up for it. So I think this version of Nigma Galaxy, they've proven they can not throw that game a lot more often than some of the past iterations. I have some confidence here.
And I do like Lornoff's builds quite a bit. Radiance, BKB, Manta now going for a heart.
Double Dispel already online. You're just going to tank up. You can get more Dispel from supports here. We had a Lotus being built by Omar. I really like that. This is a fantastic Lotus game.
That was an interesting
Liquid.
Anytime you show the Underlord gate into pits.
Taste of his own medicine.
Samael Silver Edge breaking on Boxy. Trying to dodge some of this damage. Samael just gets in front of him because he knows he's not going to die. He's got the extra life after all.
So strong.
Is
a nasty combination.
Yeah, that is true. And straight to an early high ground.
Why not? You have sustain from the Necrophos. You have Aegis for 2 minutes here. And Liquid are not great when you ball up.
No.
Early basher for Mickey as well, by the way. Trying to rush an Abyssal. Great item against the BKBs here. Great against the SF.
Liquid ပြောတာပြောလားဒီကောင်မမိနစ်30မှာ high ground နဲ့တက်ရရင်
You need to be able to team fight with this item.
Hey, this is looking like Liquid are just going to have to forfeit a lane. They're just too far behind at this point. Got to reach the next set of items or something.
And this is where SF is good.
The
hoodwink here.
Yeah, oh, yeah, pair of melody or the down shot and dying through a two maybe some melody out to no ship yet. Okay, the Manisha or down shot who will aim or two dollars of a man. You got some more damage on the Duma Macana, Liquid Bobby, GG Bobby, Liquid Masabeco. If I am signing no,
can, but as long as they
Boy, our
stay
beat love
near
you.
Lord off,
Cheers,
stay
Abel, don't
near
we want?
Samael, there's not much hope for Liquid to win the second
Okay.
part of this fight.
Sustain. You already had a pipe on the Underlord. You had some big Lotuses on the supports. And so many Death Pulse heals.
အန်ဂျင်တော့အန်လို့ရသွားပြီ။အိုးဒါပေမဲ့ကန်အင်းကိုတီသုံးလက်မှတ်ကတော့ချိုးလို့မရဘူး။တီတူကြီးကျန်တယ်လို့
slowing down at all. 70 seconds left on the Aegis. He keeps it going.
Why stop? Power of Necropos against Spectre. If you don't win those haunt fights, the game accelerates so fast because you're just a dead hero in the game.
အော်နီရှာ BKB မရှိဘူး
By the bushwhack. He's going to be burst down.
ပေဦး
here.
ရော
Reaper's sight
ဒီ
is
ဘက်မှာ
not
တူ
quite enough.
တီးကြီးပေးသွားတယ်ဆိုပေမဲ့နောက်မှာ Fire Ram နဲ့မကြမ်းတော့နီရှာ
Still in that AoE, still to
ပြက်ပြီး
die. Tofu
ဟော
with this
ဘာမှလုံးလို့မရဘူးဖြစ် Liquid ပါဟုတ်ရဲ့လားလို့
Can't get bailed out either. What a stomp. Nigma Galaxy destroying Liquid.
Liquid
off
got it now,
of,
Avi.
a draft that just did not work at all for Liquid.
Nope. Lanes were unsuccessful.
I'm alone
Early game
here.
was unsuccessful. Some of the items were delayed. Can't find that one team fight to turn the momentum. And the more and more these defensive items come out for Nigma Galaxy, the team
Nigma
fights are just
Galaxy
too easy.
are all
Group
about
up around
defensive.
the Necropos Underlord and just damage test Liquid.
Man. You had a question of like whether or not the Aegis was going to be able to get them a lane of barracks. It got them
အေးပြန်ပါသွားပြီဟုတ်သေးတယ်ခဏလေး
outright. They take a
တော့ငါ
tier
တော့တုံး
forward
နေရ
almost
ပြော
a
လို့မရ
second
ပြည့်ရင်
more.
လည်းပြောသွားနိုင်
They
တယ်
just will finally
အားလကွာ
explode, and they'll start back it away. They've got a heap of items to be picking up, I'm sure.
A lot of gold in the bank to spend.
ရိုရှယ်လေးပြန်စောင့်လိုက်မလားဒါပေမဲ့လည်းနော်ဒီဘက်မှာကျွန်တော်တို့ကိုပြီးလိုက်လေပဲစိုးဟိုက်သွားပြီဒီဘက်မှာ
Brings that out of nowhere here. Honestly, the supports for Liquid finding a decent amount in this game between that and the Blink Pipe on the Witch Doctor.
ကိုဖီးတဲ့
That's a
level
big
စိုး
Wind
ဟို
Waker.
က်
Can save against the Reaper.
Oh, if you're Liquid, how do you make this happen? Slight getting away from the pit at the nick of time.
အော်ဟောင်းရစောလိုက်တာလို့ကဲဒါမဲ့ဒီမှာဘေးတော့ပြေးတော့ကြိုက်တော့ကြိုက်နေသေးတယ် မများဘူး damage ကဘယ်သူမှမထွက်အိုးနီရှာပေါ်ပြီးရှော့သွားပြီ
Kill the Ember Spirit.
Oh,
Which
shall we
Doctor
lean
runs
on
away
Jabba
from
Pit?
Lornoff. He's going to be okay for now. Close range gate to stop some of these heroes from retreating. BKB has to be used by Ace.
ဒါတော့ဟောင်းနေတဲ့ဆိုင်နာလေးတကောင်းမှမ
He
သိပါ
has
ဘူး
plenty of HP. Again and again, we're seeing he just cannot deal with the SF's damage.
Sustain is doing so much work here for Nigma Galaxy in these fights. You just can't play that poke style.
Yep, Lornoff on the front lines with his heart. Untouchable, hasn't used his BKB. The SF is hitting for 550.
ဆိုမျိုးဟောမရှိတော့အော်ကောင်းပါပြီအောင်ကြီးက
Cast
Miss
master out a
Madam
little
Yayo.
bit. No opportunity there. One last
Megas.
melee barracks left.
ကျွန်တော်လည်းမကလေးပဲအရင်ချိုးလိုက်ပါနော်
And Liquid have
ပြီးတာ
already
ပါ
expended most of their kit. No flesh golem, no tombstone, no haunt.
Gotta go when this Ember's back up. Make something happen against this Necrophos. Still has BKB available.
အော်ကြည့်ဦးကွာဆယ်လုံးပြတ်တာရတော်တော်ကြီးနာ
Wind Waker.
There's
ကဲ
that Wind
ကဲ
Waker.
တော့ကဲ
There's
ပေး
that
သွားနေ
save.
တယ်
He's
နောက်ကဝင်ဝေးကလေးနဲ့
He's okay,
အော်ဒီတက်နေတာ
Little chains there. Okay, you lived, but you didn't do anything to Nigma Galaxy, and Nigma Galaxy is doing something to your base right now. Megas.
Yes, but I
could
hope
be in
you
here.
but
It's
Charlie,
almost
yeah,
a guaranteed. Lornoff
Oh,
just will not die.
what the
Fast
bullshit.
up. Oh, with a shot for the firestorm combined with
ကဲ
the
ရပါ
shot
ပြီ
shooter
နော်
kills
Liquid GG
BKB.
call လို့ရတယ်ဘလို့ကတွေးမရဘူးလူတွေအောက်ကချဲတော့သူမရတယ်တကောင်လက်ချက်သုံးချက်ပဲ
Wind
ဖြစ်တယ်
Waker dodged the bushwhack. Liquid. They're just really proven. They can hardly take this.
ဘာပဲပေးတဲ့လူတွေအော်ရတွေးမရဘူးချေမှာကွာဟက်ကြီးနဲ့
Lornoff is fighting 5 heroes right now, and the
အော်
team
န
isn't
ည်းနည်း
even
တော့နာ
bothering
န
to
ည်း
help.
နည်းတော့
They
နာ
just
လာ
wanna
ပြီ
see
တော်
what
တော်
will
နာ
happen.
လာပြီကဲဒီမှာ BKB နဲ့ပြန်တော့ပတ်လိုက်ပြီပဲမကြောက်နေနဲ့
Back you up.
ကျွန်
Just
တော်
kidding. You're on your own.
ဟောစက္ကန့်20ကျော်ကျန်နေတယ်မရဘူးကွာ expert တော့ပုတ်တာကြာကြီးဆောင်ပါ
Well, Mega creeps to 35 minutes. I don't think
ခဏလည်းကြာတယ်ပြီးတော့ဟောင်းရအဲ့လိုကြာကြီးတခါကဆောင်
Mega
ပါ
creep come back from that early.
That's probably true.
ဟိုကိုလေးတကပြောလို့မရသေးဘူး liquid ဘိုင်ဘက်နဲ့ဆိုင်ပေးတော့ဖြုတ်သွားနိုင်တယ်
No
အား
doubt,
တော့
no doubt.
He had to buy back, so there goes a lot of his economy.
Well, Dota Plus it loves
ရှစ်ကောင်ပဲလို့ရတာ
and they say this game's over.
It's
They
zero.
say 0% chance. It's
တက်နိုင်
done,
ကြတော့
and
နည်း
it's
နေတယ်
been
ဆိုရင်
done
နော်ရှစ်ကောင်ပဲ
for a couple minutes now.
To be fair, if you get Megas at 35, I think you do it as 0. You're not supposed to win that game.
No hero should be capable of coming back from that.
What about Naga Siren in a true, like, 0 illusion clear Naga Siren game? Because you can't buy anything to kill illusions anymore, right?
Yeah, but there's still like even if
I guess
you
you
could say
kinda can, but-
theoretically you could hold out the game, like the enemy team should still be able to overpower you and just hit the ancient.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Like you can't as Naga Siren do enough damage to stop them.
Well, we'll find out here. The greatest Mega Creep comeback.
This guy, KBG ပါ
Lornoff is almost level.
ဟိုးရင်တော့ဆိုတော့ BKB တွေပဲ PR ဖြစ်တယ် group က Parasite နဲ့လုပ်လို့ရတယ်
Another Roshan for Nigma Galaxy just to secure that extra little bit. Watching these heroes try and deal with mega creeps this early is so funny.
It's pretty tough.
It takes so long to deal with the wave.
You got to feel for Ace in this game.
This
is not a Dying's forte.
No. You could decay the wave like 7 times.
ကဲတက်ပါပြီเนาะ Aegis
He still does not have his Shivas.
Time to buy the Mjolnir, you know.
Yeah. All right, he's got his Shivas now.
See if it can keep him
ဘိုင်မတ်တရှိလာတယ်ဟိုမှာ liquid မှာအေး supporter တွေတော့ဘိုင်မတ်ရှိတယ် supporter တွေရင်သေပေးလို့ရမလား
Has outscaled the tank.
မတာဝိုင်းတီးချိုးသွားတော့မယ်ကွာ
He's
ဒီ
already
မှာ
level 25 on the SF and the Necrophos.
Yep, Shadow Rays now applies attack
ကဲ
damage.
ရှေ့မှာတစ်ပိုင်းသင်းလာပြီရတယ် keeper သေပေးလို့ရတယ်
Wind Waker doesn't manage to
ဟုတ်တယ်
get
ဘိန်းပဲရပြီ
away.
ဒီတော့လောက်တာဟုတ်တယ် supporter တွေရှောလိုက်မလားအေးကောင်းသွားပြီဟိုမှာလေးပါရရင်တော့တန်သွားပြီနော်ဟုတ်တယ်ချက်သွားနိုင်သေးတယ်ဟုတ်တယ်ကဲဒီရှာသေးသေးလို့ရတယ်အမေဒီရှာမသေးသေးဘူးတဲတဲ့နေပြေးတော့ဘတ်နေပြီးတော့ပဲနောက်မှာ slide up ပေးအော်ဒါမရှောပြီဓာတ်ပေါ်ဒီဝင်တော့မပင်နဲ့
Flame Garden does live, but the Ancient is in trouble. There is lots of mega creeps to be handled.
quality တက်ကိုမချုပ်ကြနဲ့လို့ပြောတယ်နှကောင်ရှောသွားပြီတဲ့လား easy
Team fight though.
Yeah,
53မှာဖြစ်ဖို့များသွားပြီ
Galaxy is not going to keep it going.
ဟော liquid ကတကောင်းမှမသေးဘူးဘိုင်ဘက်တွေလည်းရှိသေးတယ်
A dying tombstone.
liquid မှာမဟုတ်ရဲ့လား
Yeah.
ယနေ့အမင်းများဆုံးမေကုံ liquid မှာမဟုတ်ရဲ့လား
Really quickly here to the Ember.
ဟုတ်ကိုပြောလို့ပဲတရားဝဲလူစင်းဖြစ်တော့ဘယ်လိုလဲဖြစ်ဖြစ် drop ကောင်းနေပါညာတောင်းဆော့ရင်နိုင်ပါပဲတရားတူးလူစင်းတော့ကတော့ထားပါတော့
Makes the comeback
လူ
here,
က
but they
နေနေတော့တည်းပါဘယ်လိုဆော့ဆော့မနိုင်
before this game is done.
ကိုတော့လူစင်းကမစိုးဘူးလို့ရှင်ဆော့နိုင်တယ်သူတို့ကိုယ်ထဲမှာကောင်းအောင်ဆော့ရင်နိုင်ပါပဲ
Yeah, I would say 10%.
Maybe you killed Divine. That's who I'm kind of banking on. But
Yeah.
မစပါတော့ဘိုင်မမကြည့်ဘူးနော်
Dabai is
အော်
also
တူတယ်ပြန်တော့ရိုက်တော့ရိုက်ထားတယ် and လော့ဆင်းလိုက်ပဲ
quick little fiends
တော့ share ကိုက်ပေးတဲ့နောက်မှာ wait တောက်တာတော့ရပြီဟုတ်တယ်ဟာရဘိုင်မမချင်ဘူးလားဘိုင်ပွေလိုက်တယ်ကခုနဘိုင်မရှိပါ
Noxious spell to try and fight into here.
Yeah. All right, Ace. Just
So who are
20
now
points
here?
to go.
I don't
You
know
might be
which
able to
one.
kill Sumail. There's 2.
I think if Sumail crits off the silver
3.
giant small hit, he one-shots Boxy. Yeah, it's very close.
4, 5. Ace is slowly
ကဲတဖြည်းဖြည်းနဲ့ရောင်းရင်းဟိုကောင်နဲ့တာဝါထဲတော့ရောက်လာ
back in. Wind Waker, he's going to come
Mill
back in.
break and တော့တောက်ချောက်အေး BK ပြီးတော့ဖန်တော့ကြီးလိုက်ရပြီရှောလောက်တယ်
That's a
နော်
lot of damage.
Again,
Hey,
the Wind
Dami.
Waker combined, it
I'm
can
a
only
fine
save
guy,
so
Nisha.
much against these pits, and in this case, sets up the sharpshooter beautifully.
အဲ့ဘိုင်မကြီးတဲ့ကောင်ပြေးတေလို့ရပြီဟိုကောင်နေဟိုမှာတရုံးကြီးကိုရိုက်နေပြီအော်မရတော့ဘူးတဲ့ကွာ
They're going to try
ဟိုကောင်
and
ကဘာလုပ်နေရတော့တေလို့ရတဲ့ကောင်တွေကမတေပေးဘူးရောင်းရင်း
Nice use
liquid က
of the,
ဟာ
slight to dodge the side. The
Hey, 40
assault
late.
when it comes
Hey,
back down.
no
Two
piano,
heroes,
piano.
two heroes, too much net worth. Nigma Galaxy, 2
အဲ့
dominant.
တေးလိုက်မလားပဲဟောတေးမသေးကောင်
Here in game 1.
Sumail just farming some extra kills. It's like, fine, I'll
ဒီ
kill you
ကွာ
some. If you're going to glyph it there, take some extra kills with me for the road.
Yeah,
That was a
okay.
very one-sided game.
ဟောမမဟိုမှာတေးလို့ရတဲ့ကောင်တွေတေးရမှာကွာ liquid ကအချိန်နေတော့ဆွဲရမှာ
Don't make something happen in the first 10 minutes there. I think
ဒီကောင်မတော်ကောင်းပါတယ်နော်သူတို့တိုင်မင်မှာတော့မ drop မပြောလို့ပဲသူတို့တားမဲ့အချိန်မှာတောင်းဆော့ပြီးတော့ lane နဲ့လည်းပျောက်သွားတော့
tempo.
အောက်ချောက်ကြီးဖြစ်ပါ liquid လှုပ်လို့တော့မရဘူး
About your options in that scenario.
ဒီကောင်မ is
And
bad
we saw some of the strength of like you can double jump assassinate the backline, and I think that was the idea. If you take supports out of the engagement, then you can start to open up this ball a little
ဒီ
bit
ကောင်မ is
and just kind of
bad
power through. If
Get
if
over
the early game
my
looks better, I
girl.
can see that happening, but then you also have to ask the question, like, how does that early game look better? Because I think all 3 lanes are either
တကောင်လိုပါတယ်တကောင်နှစ်ကောင်လိုပါတယ်ဇာတာပဲ
maybe you're supposed to win the Witch Doctor lane a little harder because you're against the melee hero, but that got really weird early and some like
aurora ပွဲလေးကြည့်လိုက်
Coddle's not going to rotate.
It's just it doesn't feel great but it does make sense. You're playing in different parts of the fight, ideally. So you can still get max value out from these multiple radiances.
ကဲ aura ပွဲလေးကြီးလိုက်မယ်ဒီဘက်မှာလည်း necro ပို့ Spectre တွေက Spectre တွေပြန်ဟောနေတာပဲဟမ်
now for Mikado
ကောင်းတယ်ကိုပြောလို့ Spectre က spell တစ်ခုအပူရလို့ဖြစ်သွားတာအခုက
as he has
အောင်တဲ့ဘက်ကတွင်
free time about it here on the side of L1 team 9 to 5 less than 1k advantage
ဘူးလို့ liquid ထဲကကိုကိုပြောတယ်လေနော်ဟိုက mic
Ace
ပါ
in the
လေက
hole has to be how you execute.
Hey, come on, Mike.
Chase Nightfall.
Oh, this will be a big one. Nightfall needs some help.
အားလေးမှာလေဂိမ်းပြန်ရောက်ရင်တော့ liquid ကစားမှာဒါပေမဲ့လေဂိမ်းမဟောက်ပါဘူး
Down corrupt.
Bit
Now
don't
able
them
to find
R&B ပါ
another dunk on this axe. And
why we supporting liquid support မသိပါဘူးကင်းလေးပဲလိုချင်တာ
I think it was we were talking to Seb about it earlier in the green room as well. This Necrophos, it really doesn't like playing from behind.
No.
Artificial testing ခေါ်မယ်ဟဲ့တဲ့ပြောလို့တော့မရဘူးနော်ဒီကောင်မမျောလင်းချက်တွေတော့တကယ်ပေးနေပြီကိုရီကို
Radiance. It's
Only
not
just
bad
did
per
get
se.
pain
You
here.
do have 2 Radiance heroes. It's just the item build they like to go for.
Yeah.
And they are going to be doing different things on different sides of the map, but yeah, this Necrophos, it just needs more.
Needs way more for Mikado. I'd say it's actually less so Mikado and more so that they need a dispel for escape back, right? Like the nullifier, perhaps once that's up, if you farm that up on Nightfall, your game starts to simplify a
Spectre
lot.
TI မှာဟောမလား
And again, it's a natural build up on Spectre. And
Spectre အရင်တော့2ကယူစရာမလို2က inning မှာ free ပေးအဲ့တော့1-3နဲ့တော့သူတို့နည်းနည်းလေး fan လုပ်ကောင်းတယ်ညာတက်စား
Get to work now, moving on to
Had a cool
Mirror.
match.
Takes down 1. WS trying but can't continue his respect. Going to be infested now, and the chase will continue. Meanwhile, Zayat's on the side. Actually, Reaper's not going to be enough again. No bonuses here for Makoto, unfortunately. And so 1 for 1.
တော့ဘောဂိမ်း2ပြန်ရှုံးတာဟုတ်လားအေးဒီ liquid ကို1-1 aura 1-1
That's a
Come on,
good one
Nita.
now that should have probably ended up.
တကယ်တိုင်ပတ်နေတာ OG နော်မနေ့ကကြည့်ပြီး OG ကဘာလုံးမှမသိဘူးအဲ့လိုပုံစံကြီးက OG တော်တော်ကြာသွား
Finger, if you get the kill after 3 seconds of using it, you have a buff. You do get it. It feels so unforgiving to Necrophos because your spell is such long cooldown. It's something that you rely on a lot. Like you really need those bonus HP and mana regen to maximize your innate and your ghost shroud. So maybe still nice
So
catch.
again, this will be a great catch if they can get him. Hex was out. They've got so much damage here on Snowy, and he just picked up his Radiance as well. It's a bit of unfortunate death for Snowy. Losing the power spike of that Radiance here is Aurora immediately punishing. Though L1 look like they want to go fight again. They'll head up north with the smoke. They are fighting into the Radiance build up of Makoto as well. Even another one now for Nightfall coming out. But that's just a Sacred Relic. He hasn't got the Talisman of Evasion yet.
Oh.
Call committed. They do
Oh,
find
they are
themselves
lying on
alive,
me.
but Mira still barely alive.
Oh, but they
Carry
what the fuck?
trying to retreat as well.
Show
Looks
go
like
me, show
nobody's
go
did
me.
quite yet, but Corrupted is dropping very
Oh,
low. and
Necro
so is
hira ye.
Zayat.
No, no,
And
lago
now both
hira ye,
those
mati
two
wa.
fall down. Is respect. The only man left standing, and unfortunately he's not going to be standing for long as they'll break his legs. Nightfall with a double kill. Mirage trying to at least push down the T1 mid tower, but the Reapers.
Oh ဘာကြီးတော့ Maris ကအေး
Alright, well, I mean, that
ကိုနေတွေကဒီအသင်းဘလို့တရားရောက်လာလဲကွာငါလည်းကွာကိုနေတွေက Epic ကအတိုင်းပဲ
Right? Like he's getting
တော့
tired.
အဲ့ဒီမှာ VP တော့နာပြီးတော့ဖြစ်ရ
He's copying all of these free right clicks coming out from Mikado. He's just so desperate to get this tier 1.
Exomania ဝေးတဲ့
And he actually gives a charge.
The mind man of Dille.
Mikado is not going to be.
အဲ့လီဂါဘလို့ TI ပါလာလဲတော့ကိုလည်းမသိတောင်းစား TI မှာတက်တလို့ကြီးပုံ
L1 team after what looked like a very solid.
တကယ်ဘာမှမလုပ်နိုင်တဲ့အဲ့ဒါ
See
အ
some
ကွာလီဖိုင်ယာလေးတည်တဲ့တော့ကျန်းလာလားမသိပါဘူးကြည့်ရ
Right, like you're hitting your timings on Aurora. You're starting to have
မင်းကပွဲဆောင်နေတယ်မင်းကနှလုံးသားအေးဒီလိုချိန်နေဆွေးနွေးရမှာမေးနေတာတွေနော်ပြောနေတာတွေ comment လူတွေလည်းမှာပြော
Sustained game coming out from Aurora will be a massive problem because you've got this Largo that can just keep healing up. You've got this Winter Wyvern as well.
You jump in onto the Wyvern, carry, immediately bursted down, corrupted. Nice great kill for him on the axe.
Aurora ဂိမ်း1က
Get them in
Aurora
the
ပဲ
T1
တိုင်သွားတယ်
while they're at it, it will still stay.
ဟုတ်တယ် Aurora ဂိမ်း1နိုင်သွားတာမလေးအ game 2ဆိုအဲ့လို Serene A နဲ့ Serene B တွေ CD နဲ့အမြဲတမ်း2နာရီလောက်1နာရီခွဲလောက်1နာရီအဲ့လို2နာရီ1နာရီခွဲလောက်กว่า
It looks like he'll rejoin his team.
ကောင်လေးအဲ့လို break that တွေနဲ့ပြီးတော့အဲ့ဟို panel တွေပါတယ်နဲ့ interview တွေနဲ့
Mira's going to go for the Hex, but Mirage is going to intervene to boot. They'll try to chase down the line. Zayat's going to be there as well, landing a very nice stun, but no, the Winter's Curse. Corrupted. Caught. Will of Wonder as well to try and help us a little bit, but they've already lost the Axe. They're probably set to lose Zayat, so a nice roll away from the Earth Spirit, but the chase is continuing. The Reaper scythe him. Makoto will find another. And it looked like
ဘလို့တက်လာလေတကယ်စဉ်းစားလို့မရဘူး။နိုင်ဘောအကုန်လုံးရိုက်တော့မှဒီချိန်မှာရထရတယ် Spectre ကြီးက Radiant
It seemed like a decent start, but a crazy Winter's Curse out from Cowrie, just stopping them in their tracks.
Just way too much. Really, most of that damage coming out there from that Winter's Curse in terms of setting up. And L1 team, again, also a little bit surprising they opt for that, because you saw the position that they had to go from. They had to run from mid in the entrance into the bot jungle, and all of Aurora was already kind of setting up for that fight. Like, it's such a forced position to do it, and your team's not even entirely together for that fight. Pretty big risk. We'll see what they can get up to here, as there is still a hold from Aurora up top. Seems to have some idea that something's going on. Reaper sight still a ways off.
ဟိုမှာ new off တဲ့ဆိုလည်းမကောင်းအရင်ဟိုတို့ဒီနောက်ပိုင်းကတော့ဟုတ်တာပေါ့အစောပိုင်းပုံစံနဲ့ပြောရင်
They'll play it a
န
little
ည်း
bit
အချင်းလို့ဖြစ်သွား
Did show
မ
it
နေ့က
in
တည်ရ
the
နေ
words, but
နော် off နဲ့
kind
minute
of need to get the farm up here, or at least get the map control. Look at that. Unicycle. Isn't it great? Isn't it great?
He crashed into a sentry wall, did he?
It looked like it.
No,
I don't know if it has the duration, or the duration time was just right, or
Okay.
collided. Can you imagine you don't even see the damn thing? It's an enemy sentry. You're just suddenly off, and you're like, what?
No, but it must have just expired. Well, we have it. I mean, 18 to 9. Aurora once again in a pretty strong position. 5k advantage sitting their way. Both top cores, the Necrophos and the Spectre at the moment. WS. Call. Going to be found onto the Frog.
Frog
Coming in though.
အော်မသေးပြန်ဘူးအောင်တော်တော်အသေးကွဲနေလောက်ပြီဒီကားကောင်တွေက
Reaper saving Corrupted another time, but he's still going to fall eventually as WS walks away from all of this. Chase now into the Life Stealer. Winter's Curse onto our Ember Mirage, at least buying the space to allow their carry out of there. And he will also leave. Snowy will eventually run the old-fashioned way back to the fountain.
No, like the set is the lady. We know him, man. He like, he like. Nakarua, he like. Who got someone he like?
Vision's gonna be on him. He's okay. They won't have any stun.
No. Insane amount of damage coming out there, though. And again, like we were saying maybe 5 minutes earlier here, Mikey, the sustain is a problem for the side of L1 team. Like, WS has sustain, Mikado has sustain, Cowrie has sustain. Just have so many ways of keeping your front line alive, and you don't have any way of reducing that healing. I say this every time we see a lot of heals in game, but Krellis Crozier could be a good item here. It's just a matter of when do you pick that up? Or are you satisfied enough with just the urn? Because there's so much. The urn Spirit Vessel, there's just so much healing here for you to hope to look for that burst play. Tormentor taken by Aurora now. Free shard coming out from Mira, so you know, going back to the good old Reddit thread, just buy a plate mail now and you're indestructible, right?
Oh yeah, I miss those times.
That was an amazing thread.
That was amazing.
I think about it sometimes, you know.
I know you do, John.
I think about a lot of things, Mike.
Do you, John?
Sometimes.
I wouldn't have guessed that of you.
Sometimes. I always forget what I think about, but I do think.
Does that mean if you forget, did you really think in the first place, John?
Well,
I mean, I guess you have to think to forget, wouldn't you?
Yes, you would.
Or you have to have a thought. It's not necessarily thinking, is it?
Yeah.
Or is it? Is a thought thinking, John? Is this philosophy class 101?
Oh, yeah, this is a call.
Top lane, that is a call. They've got the Wyvern. Carry's gone, no dunk. Doesn't matter. Makoto, now on the chase. Not gonna find the axe. And in fact, Respect will also go through the twin gates, and looks like he's going to be a little bit too challenging to catch. WS down at bottom has been caught by Zayat. Now they're calling from Corrupt, and Snowy's going to be there to boot, and Corrupt at this time will find himself another duck on the outs. I mean, still successfully fighting back. It's still the easiest game in the world here for Aurora, at least when you compare it to Game 1.
For sure. It's a lot more challenging. I think they do have to be careful about bleeding out all these kills to L1, because now you've got a whole bunch of armor in this act. You're managing to bleed quite a fair bit of gold away. It's going to be the BKB pickup for Corrupted next. And keeping control on the axe is going to be easier said than done. You could maybe Winter's Curse him, but really depends on your priority target here in the middle of these engagements for Aurora. 7k lead still stands, but you are seeing play in L1. Still, Aurora already in Roshan. Not going to take too long to find this objective for themselves. Their own BKB on Mikado, just about one part away. So they're going to get a little bit of tempo coming out here. Secondary light for probably Nightfall. No real need for Mikado to have it, as he is durable enough. You can afford to take the risks now on that spec. It's a matter of how much can you get out? Are we going to be seeing a 2k gold swing off of Aegis? Are we going to be seeing a 3k gold swing off of the Aegis to catch one?
They are Respect. Disrespected by WS. Zayat hanging around mid lane, hoping for a power rune to spawn, but it is going to spawn top instead. We found out by Kauri. 8k advantage standing. Aegis is up on Nightfall, so chances they want to go. Maybe once the BKB is completed on Makoto, though, in fairness. He's not too far off, but just needs to just ensure it's pretty much impossible to kill the Necrophos once that's up.
Start to
the
full damage of
group
from anyone.
Look at the
pesky spec.
Bro, interview
They really are. It's like, why? Why did we make Spectre like this? I don't know. Did she have
bro, now I know bro.
1,000 units away?
Well, there you go. Not much Corrupt could have done about that.
Family trust and
in fact, Zion can't make it out. The Reapers as well.
TI boy, qualifier
Very hard, I think, for the items they could ask for now. And you're playing with a lifesteal that it just doesn't seem like the kind of game where he's going to be able to stand there and actually hit people for long enough. There's so much to be worried about. Snowy, chase down again. Makoto gonna force the TP away with the rage. He's gonna be.
Chelsea, Chelsea,
Just trying to think of what ways L1 team has to come back in, and really the big question is, what are you expecting your lifesteal to do at this point, right? Because it can do damage. You finish up the SMY first. It just feels like you're such a long time away from hitting these key milestones on the lifestealer. It hasn't been as good of a game for Mirage as well. Again, which is so weird to say when it felt like, you know, he did defy odds with a Monkey King matchup last time. The Necrophos just felt like a much harder wall to try to find any sort of opening for. At the least, some BKBs getting formed up. You've got some opportunities now, some windows of opportunity to play with. But you're losing a lot of map space to get to that point. One outer tower left for the side of L1 team. And Aurora, pretty happy days. Maybe just 2 minutes left lead, just not the longest. You find a good target here. L1.
I'm not sure what you're expecting.
That is crazy.
It is. Corrupted. He can't. It feels like he can't even walk away from this. Makoto
အဲ့တော့အဲ့လိုမျိုးအဲ့ဒါနဲ့ဆိုင်တယ်အဓိကကြီးရဲ့လူများလဲ VPN မဖွင့်နိုင်ကျွန်တော်ဘာမှမရ
That is
ကြီးရဲ့လူနဲ့ VPN ဖွင့်တဲ့လူကအဲ့တရားမှာ90လောက်ဖြစ်နေရ
Think about just going in.
But that's such an unhinged play. Like you blink and you stun, and the travel's too in to try to get. Like
That's right.
Aura 33ကျော်တာပေါ့
Just because you can.
ကျော်နိုင်ကြီးများတာပေါ့ဒီပွဲ
oh my goodness, smoke. This could be a good flank. The
90
line's run.
80လောက်ဖြစ်နေပြီကျော်နိုင်ကြီးက
Catching the back line.
တဲ့90လောက်တော့ရှိပါ33
Maybe you swing forward. Nightfall. You could waste the ages here.
ဟောအရင်ကြီးခေါ်သွားမှာပဲကြောက်ပါ
Still not the easiest kill to hope for, though. He's going to back his way out of there. L1 not quite able to find the Spectre. Instead, maybe looking back towards the mid lane, but Aurora's the one setting up now. They're the ones smoked up. Looking at Snowy. If you can land that initial Hex, it could be pretty easy to burst him down, but it seems as though WS going to drag the creep wave away instead. Down towards the south, they're going to find Carry with the chains, but it'll be dispelled off as corrupted. He blinked in. It's an awkward initiation, though. He completely whiffed it. But he's going to be saved by Zayat for now. As
maybe
Myriad
don't blow
jumps
la
over
don't
Hex
blow la
onto
leader la
Zayat's
leader.
the Reaper's side. No,
The
it's not going to be
Infest.
enough. The Infest does save the day. Meanwhile, the Ember.
Oh, yeah,
Mirage
Ember
is
kill.
down. Nightfall, he'll find Respect to boot. It's a
Yeah,
double
win
kill
the
for
cast.
Spectre.
အော်ဝင်လာခတ်3မိတာပါမ
Such a shame. They threw everything to save the Ringmaster. Mirage got caught in the middle of Valor. And even
Kaya
Corrupted, he
mawala.
can still die. They won't see him.
ကဲတကမပြန်လာနေပြီ
Yeah. Does Bale.
အာ
Is it as good or?
That's exactly what I was, the meme I was referring to. So that sentence just stuck in my head. It gives you everything. I just can't take it. But Wisp first pick. I mean GH, the best Wisp in the world forever. I'll just put it this way.
IO
I
2
think,
ဒီပေါ့
this guy has been, you know, kind of making phobia, PTSD, you name it. It's like no one wants to
2
face
ဒီ
this
လောက်ပြီ
Wisp.
ပေါ့ဗာဟမ်ဒီကို IO ပေးမှာတော့
Go back to that sort of comfort zone. I think it opens up a lot of different strategies. Like, because Wisp is a hero that's about strategizing around. Like, he's a buffer hero in a sense. So you really want to take a hero and put it on steroids. Essentially, that is what Wisp does. And if you're gonna do that with Sumail or Lornov, I mean, it could be the vibe, but most likely it's gonna be on with your mid and your carry. We could get some really cool strategy from Nigma.
We could. Last time that they played it was against Navi, and it looked completely dominating. He ended that game with like only one.
ကဲ GHIO တဲ့တော်တော်သဘောကျသွားပြီအဲ့ဒီကမှ2စီးပြီထင်တယ်တကယ်
Extra bit of regeneration coming in, becoming unkillable. From the mid lane, not as much. It was Lornov who was playing sniper, but Davai Lama, he was also playing the Beastmaster, and Omar was playing position 4-axe. So this is the team that's going to be flexing a lot of these cores in a way where they can play it from multiple different roles. Yet to see Davai play potentially Necrophos, where they can then flex
င်္ဂလာပါ
across
ဘရို
three
ဒီ
different roles.
ဒီကောင်းလိုက်ဝင်အောင်နဲ့
Ancient
ကောင်းပါတယ်ဘရို
Apparition and, yeah,
ဒီကောင်းချမ်းပါလေပါနကရိုးတွေရော IO တွေရော
So there's a few things to say about the second.
အန်ချမ်းမှာဘန်လာတယ်တေးကြအောင်လို့
What is interesting to me is the Doom has been banned by Liquid, which I think is a little
ကဲ
bit scary
IO န
when
ကရိုးကို
you
သူတို့ဘာနဲ့ရှင်းမလဲနော်စာမွေးတွေမှာပြန်စစ်နေပြီငကမားစစ်တာမို့ငကမားပြန်စစ်တာပြောပါဗျာ
On top of that, they go back to the Necro. As the cost mentioned, this is a combo that they've run before. Especially if it doesn't, like one of the few counters in the game is going to be Doom, right? Against with Necro,
Yes.
like the amount of heals is completely out of this world.
စာမွေး
I also
ပြန်
think
စစ်
the
ဒီမှာ
Necro
ငက
could
မားပါ
commit against Earth Spirit, because we saw what happened to Ember Spirit. I think the very same can apply to Earth Spirit. The Necro Crown can't shut down the hero that much.
We
and
and me
I don't think
Pamela,
you can
Baba
afford to
Chino
have
level,
Earth Spirit
but
that is too shut down. You need the vessel in this game. If it's not coming from like Earth Spirit, there's no AA, there is no Doom. Vessel is your last option to deal with this amount of like this
insane amount of healing.
Yeah, it's like a broken strategy, honestly.
Yeah, we are in the heal meta, and after the changes to Shivas, it just doesn't feel like there are many items. Scotty's too expensive. It needs to be Spirit Vessel. Drow can potentially do it with the Aghanim Scepter, even though most of the Drows that I've seen recently are not opting to go for that item.
It takes a while.
It takes a while. Like, even though Ame did try to start a trend where he was picking up Aghanim Scepter straight away, Falcon Blade into Aghanim Scepter, other players are also building different items with the Pike, with the Manta styles of their own. But in this
Sorry,
one,
bye,
I think
Yoshi,
it
that-
might
hey,
need to
hey,
get
yeah.
slightly more priority.
draw နဲ့ကလို့
I like the draw clock.
draw ကတော့မစိုးပါဘူး
It's
ကောင်းတယ်
pretty
cross
good
arrow
heroes
နဲ့ပြင်
against
IO
what,
နဲ့ group ပေါ့
what Nigma has. I think it makes IO's life also much
That
more
group
difficult.
ကျန်နေနေမြတ်
Like,
စော
they have
ပါ
lots
လား
of ways to mess with the IO. The cog can break the tether, the silence, like the Gauss is also pretty good. Liquid's lineup
အော်
is
ဒီ
looking
liquid က
good,
ပေါ့
but
လေ
they
ကော
have
မှာ
to
ဝိုင်းစပတ်ကြီးတစ်ခုလုံးရှိနေ
cover
အပ
certain
ပဲဖတ်
angles
ဖို့
when it comes to laning, because typically this IO Necro, if they're paired together on the lane, is absolutely terrifying. I think this is a case of like they could just be behind your tier 1 tower.
ဟို liquid ကတကယ်ကြာနေတာကြာ
2
ပါ
or
ပြီ
3
ဘယ်
minutes
တော့
into
မှ
the
မ
game,
liquid
and
မ
you
စွမ်း
just
တာ
can't kick
နော်
them out of there.
ခုနောက်ပိုင်း
So we'll have to see what Nigma decide to go for.
I would love to see maybe some kind of a stunner, maybe like a lion, just a casual one, and then because I feel like with this type of a strategy, we've seen it being ran multiple times. If you can't really start a fight, it's gonna be Lycan, a hero that we have been calling out for quite some time now. We haven't seen it on our stream. At least the hero feels very, very strong, like with the howl, with what you can do in the lane, manipulating the creep waves as well, and the scaling plus the timing that this hero is gonna give to you.
ဥပါတော့မလွယ်တော့ဘူးက TI ရော Evo ရောကဘယ်အသင်းမှအဲ့လို player တွေကသွားယူလို့မရတော့
He's gonna have to, come to the conclusion
ကဲ
that,
like နဲ့ဘာတော့
you have to play
က Pro
another
Draft ကြီး
hero
အဆန်းတော့ဆန်းလေးပဲ
He's just-
IO နဲ့
I've
Pro
seen his
ဖို့
mouse, he's
like
just
and
can't
Win
kick the
Ranger
hero.
Now,
Quite unfortunate.
will
But
he
Thor
be
is
the one
saying,
playing
no?
Wind Ranger or will
Most
it be
likely.
Sumail?
I mean, it's open. I see most likely it's open. Actually, with Wind
Oh,
Ranger,
Wind
one of the
Ranger,
better
yes,
combo
maybe
Wiz
don't
combos
shout
guy.
so there.
We
Necro
probably haven't
Kuma.
seen it much. But
Wind
Wiz
Ranger
obviously
carry
benefits
like
a
an
lot
off လား
from
ဒါမှမဟုတ်
mobile core
Wind
heroes,
Ranger
because
စပို့
that's
လေးပါ
what
လေ
their
ဖြစ်နိုင်
works.
တာနော်
Then
Wind Ranger
running
စ
around
ပို့ဆို
together
ပြီး
with
တော့
the
မှ
tether movement speed buff is like
like
it's
an off
impossible to
Necro
catch them. They're
carry
just running around
Ale yaro ya.
and extremely elusive. They roam the map at the speed of light. It's a really cool combo. I love it.
Facebook ကိုမှမ
But
အကုန်ဖတ်ပါ
again,
အခုကကျွန်တော်က
position
application
for
ဝင်လိုက်ပြီ
Ranger with the,
Facebook ကို YouTube ရော
cheat stun on the
Twitch ကို
shackle
ကိုမှ
shots,
တစ်ခု
no
ထဲမှာပေါ့
cooldown. This is really what they need, because we've seen what can happen when you have no stuns in game 1 for Liquid. Nigma was going down the exact same path, so that was a little bit worrisome.
I would love to see something that can set things up for them, so you can relocate in. You can have some kind of a play that's gonna be maybe punishing the side lanes, because right now they're like that's shackle shot. That's pretty much all you have.
ကဲအဲ့တော့
And on the other side, you have
Liquid ဆင်း
very
တာ
mo-
ဟိုဘက်က
like mobile heroes. You have Earth Spirit, who's
ဒါ
difficult
ပေမဲ့
to
ငါက
catch,
drop က
awkward
စတန်
with
မရှိ
one
ဘူး
toss. He
เนาะ
can
ဒီကောင်က
stop
ဘယ်လို
you
ပုံ
from
စံနဲ့
getting
IO
any
ဝင်
kind of
ရတဲ့
game that you're trying to get
တော့
into.
relocate ကြလာဖို့တော့မလို့အေးအဲ့ဒါပြောတာစတန်မရှိပတ်နေနီရှာပတ်နေတော့တွေ့
that there has been a lot of work put into the drafts they've been having, especially since yesterday. Day one, it looked kind of okay, pretty standard, but they definitely spiced it up.
Okay, so it's going to be an Earth Spirit position 4. They pivot, which again makes sense. I think Earth Spirit versus Necro mid would have looked
ရှာပတ်
exactly
နေတော့
like
တွေ့
game
ပါ
1.
ပြီ
I'm sure Nisha
drop ကြီးက IO
does the
ကို
one
ချိန်
around
ပေ
too.
မဲ့
That must have been like
ငါ
miserable
က
to
drop
play.
ကြီးကအဲ့လိုအရန်
So they
လိုအပ်ချက်တွေ
put
များနေတယ်
Nisha
ဆိုတော့
up,
feeling
that's
မျိုးတော့ဖြစ်
absolute classic. It's an absolutely perfect puck
Bro,
game. They
Nisha
have
Pato,
nothing
huh?
to threaten him so
Pro
far.
ne
So
le di
there's gonna be a
poya
lot of
drum
pressure
ma
on the
very
aspect.
no
At the
me
same
poya
time,
so le
we said
baka
that
ro
they
pa
were
ji ne
Nigma need stun, lockdown, and initiation, which was not gonna come from a Necro mid. So I think both teams are pretty happy with the switch of the draft, where Necro is probably looking to go safe lane with the IO, and they will pick a Lauren of hero that matches well against Puck and will bring the stun initiation.
Ace ကနည်းနည်းတည်းမှာချွေချောင်းနေမယ်
You know,
ရှေ့ရ
the
ကောင်တစ်
likes
ကောင်
of,
တော့ပြစ်လိုက်တော့
Tiny.
Liquid
I don't
drop က
know
တာ
if
လို့
teams
ခံ
are
တာ
valuing Monkey King at all anymore, but these are the kind of heroes that are required in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe even a Void Spirit, even though there is good amount of lockdown. It's a hero that
people
works
are different.
well in the laning stage. I just want to
Drop
see
က
them
အများကြီးတာလေပြော
have some kind of a catch.
ဟုတ်တယ်နေရှာပတ်ယုံလို့ရတယ်ပြီးတော့ဒီကောင်မှာ drop ကြီးက
It could be
ပြိုး
good
ကြီးပဲ
Dragonite game, but this hero is nowhere to be seen. But this is a very good. We're gonna group up together.
Coach Nigma,
Let's say
Coach
he's
Nigma
tied
unit
up to a
လို့မရဘူး
wisp, you have a
Ay,
guaranteed stun against the pocket.
admin တွေရှိတယ်အဲ့ group ဒါမှမဟုတ်အဲ့ Telegram ထဲကိုဝင်လိုက်ကျွန်တော်အတိဟိုဟာတွေရှိတယ်ဗာလေ unit ထဲရဲ့လူတွေရှိတယ်
Can only hope for.
I'm
ဂျုံကြီးရတဲ့ကောင်တွေ
worried
ကို
for
ပေါ်
Ace
တာတွေရှိ
'cause
တယ်
it's
အဲ့ကောင်တွေကိုအဲ့ကောင်တွေ
IO
ပြောပြီးလို့ရရ
Necro, and you have an Earth Spirit
အဲ့
plus
Telegram ကနေကျွန်တော်အကောင့်
as
လာ
an,
ပြောလိုက်
you know, former, like, as an offlaner, I'm like, what do you want? Like, this is gonna be hell on earth, you know? Like, your plus 4 can't really do much for you, and you're laning versus an obnoxious lane.
Ooh, what about some off-lane Snapfire for him?
Yeah.
I mean, it could work, but if you don't have enough damage with Earth Spirit to cut through the
ဟို
Iron
draw
Necro,
လောက်
then
ကော
it
င်းတာမယ်ဒါပေ
becomes
မဲ့သူတို့
just
ဘက်က
really
အဲ့
bad, you know, 'cause
ဘယ်လိုပြောမလဲ like
their push
ပြလိုက်ပေ
potential,
မဲ့
like the
နက
heal,
ရိုးကြီး
the
လည်းဖြစ်
double
နေ
heal
တော့
on
ဝင်းရိုင်း
Necro
လည်းဖြစ်
because
နေ
of the
တော့
tether.
ဗတဲ့ဆိုင်လို့မရလာဘူး
It's going to be wild. Like, they are gonna get.
I can't draw ကောင်းလာတယ်ဆိုပေမဲ့ကျန်တဲ့ကောင်တွေကဒီမှာ like နဲ့တွဲပြီးဆောလို့ကောင်းတဲ့ကောင်တွေမဟုတ်ဘူး
you know, confront both the heroes and the creep wave. He goes for an axe. I'm very surprised by this. They're thinking about cutting waves. Like that's the only explanation I can come up with, and they're hoping. But the thing is that Io is not like old Io. Io play with spirits now. Old Io was completely harmless because it's just like tickling you and it has tether overcharge. So as soon as it's split with his core, it does nothing. But the new Io is actually very heavy harass with spirits. It's very cost-effective damage. Like the mana you spend for the damage it does is borderline broken. So I don't think creep skipping against Io is as good as it used to be. Slightly worried about the offlane for Liquid once again. I hope they find a way to get into the game and give Ace like a solid start.
Because he's got
Gotcha. I mean, he's a mother of me. That's got name wine. So
on paper, it looks very good, but didn't find too much success so far at TWC. I just gotta double check the numbers, see where he's standing. Never mind, it got up. It's more than 50% right now. But some of the games that we've seen Axe struggle quite a lot. Like even if he's off to a good start, and let's giving them the last. Pretty much directions how this lineup needs to be played, because I feel like this lineup kind of plays itself out. Problem is you are playing against a lot of tempo. One mistake, two mistake, the game can get out of control relatively quickly.
I would love to see a tiny for Nigma. They are gonna put the necro mid anyway against the puck, and they're running an IO ult.
ကြိုက်တော့မကြိုက်ဘူးဒီပွဲတော့ liquid ကြိုက်တယ်ဝမ်းဝမ်းမှုများတယ် drop ကတော့
Okay, so I mean that is gonna buff the axe a lot. Now it's a pretty decent lane
Okay,
for
the game
Axe,
body
laning versus a melee hero and IO that also likes to be close. I don't know how much I like that. I think Nigma was in a really good spot drafting wise, and I think that gives a lot of playability for Liquid.
Yeah, it's a free puck game. Like they have literally nothing to stop this
Oh,
puck
drug.
from.
They got my
having a
drug yet,
great
the new
game.
can.
I'm also looking at the potential
ပြ
agonists
မြန်မာလည်း
and
necro
whatever.
ကတားလေးနည်းနည်းပါပဲ
Gives
ပတ်နေရ
it
တော့
to
ဒီရှားကလည်းသူ့ရဲ့
Wolf,
signature
and
ပတ်သွား
then
ပြတ်
Wolf
နေ
bites him back. It's
မ
like,
ကတော့
yeah,
ရင်
I'm
ပြတ်မှာမ
actually
ဟုတ်ဘူးအဲ့တော့
playing this
draw
for
နဲ့
myself.
like ကလည်း lane နဲ့တော့မရ
I
ဘူး
think
ပြီးသွားတော့ဒါ
it is
like
something he
draw
needs to
တော့
play
နည်း
for
နည်းတော့ခတ်တာ
himself.
ပေါ့လေ
I think
like
we're gonna
like
be
ကြိုက်တာ
seeing
ပါ
Aghanim
နည်းနည်း
Scepter. Aghanim's on Necro
I mean,
is good, but it's also not an
လွယ်
early
လောက်
that you
ဘူး
want to be getting.
draw
So
အိုက်တယ်ရအောင်
Snow
အဲ့
just,
alchemist
plays
လည်း
for
မနိုင်
himself. He gets the Radiance,
Draw
he gets the
time.
Blink Dagger, BKB, AC definitely needed in this game. Maybe even Bloodthorn in this one, just to be able to have something to shut down this puck. But
Pretty Orchid, honestly, even earlier than usual, Orchid sounds amazing.
they might
Actually,
need that. Yeah, they might need to pick it up.
it's a really good Lycan game. Also, something to note. I think none of these heroes actually threaten Lycan anytime soon. Hall incredibly powerful with the Alk. You know the amount of minus armor they're going to have. So Davai could also just take over the game. Honestly, this is one of these games where Lycan can just be unstoppable.
Is Clock not considered to be decent against Lycan? Because you can like box him in. Oh, you're in.
No.
You
No,
can
no,
box
no.
him in and force staff yourself out and like, haha.
No. Lycan is very good against Clock because you know with the two walls, like
အဲ့ဒါ bro
Clock is
ဒီမှာ
just
ငါမှာ second run နိုင်ရင်
So
Skip
sure,
it, the
later
plane.
on you can
Okay,
box
bro.
it in, but
I mean, I'm not
you
really
actually
like-
die in the split of a second against Lycan. Like you're so squishy. Also, Clockworks they
Second
usually
run
are
as well.
really
တ
low
တိယ
net
တ
worth.
တိ
They
ယ
don't have
အဲ့
any
တတိယ
gold.
ရ cut off
They're just running around with brown boots.
အကဲကောင်းတယ် bro long time no see like a mid ကောင်းအဲ့မဲ့ like a mid ကြီးဆိုရင်လည်း
Aside of
တော်တော်ပုတ်သွားမှာအဲ့ကြရင်6ဘေးမဲ့ကောင်မရှိတော့ဒီမှာ like a level တွေများလဲဘာမှမလုပ်လို့မရ
where they can kill anybody, they can push towers.
ဘော liquid ပဲဒီပွဲကြိုက်တယ် drug ကတော့
Take them out of healing. They
ငါမှလည်းကောင်းလာတာတော့လက်ခံပါမယ် liquid ကဒီကတော့ nisha ပတ်ဖြစ်နေတယ်
Liquid can't kill them that one time. Like it's just gonna turn like all day.
အဲ့ nisha ပတ်ကိုဖမ်းမဲ့ကောင်ရှား ultimate ဒဂါတွေပါတယ်နဲ့အဲ့လိုမျိုးနော်သူတို့နည်းနည်းဖမ်းဖို့တော့နောက်ဆုံးကိုလိုကြီးကစဉ်းစားလိုက်တယ်ဆိုပေမဲ့တကယ်တော့မလွယ်လောက်ဘူး
Radiance, or if they're gonna be trying to speed things up, because double radiance also doesn't seem too bad.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if they can
ဒီဘက် drop ဆိုရင်တော့ liquid ကြိုက်
change things around and find a different item build. It's most likely going to be on Necro in that case. I don't think.
Yes.
Maybe some Battle Fury Alp or something, but sounds a little bit underwhelming. I wonder if also, because I'm trying to think from Liquid's perspective, who's going to deal with the healing? Maybe Vessel on Axe is a possibility, because I don't think Blade Mail is that high value when they have so much heal behind.
They
Like
have
a
Earth
Vessel Blink. I mean, they have Earth Spirit, but I think from support it comes a little bit
Oh
too
yeah,
late.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
But do you
So-
think Axe is going to be able to farm fast enough for that as well?
Yeah, you could definitely get it on Axe. It
Yeah.
feels good.
It's the same cost as Blade Mail, essentially, almost. So, yeah, I'd like to see a Vessel into Blink for him.
Yeah, well, I like to see an explosive game. We're gonna find out if Team Liquid can weather the storm, as it were, with the Alchemist and Lycan that might be knocking on Team Liquid's door sooner rather than later. Let's find out how game number 2 plays itself out with Cap and SVG.
A lack of stuns in game 1 led Liquid to a draft.
Oh, they-
Has
they are
plenty of
look up.
stuns. They start off with an Earth Spirit. They've got a
Okay,
Clockwork,
nee.
now an Axe, and a
ခုနကောင်တော့လို့
stuns, lots of initiation, lots of lockdown, all for a
Ah,
Drow
sorry.
Ranger. We've seen plenty of
Might
Drow
be
Rangers say
like that,
we try and carry games. Is this a Drow Ranger that could carry this game?
Yeah, I think so. I think it looks pretty good for Liquid in the late. I feel like they went to the emergency break glass box in time of emergency.
ဘယ်တော့တကောင်ရလိုက်တယ်ငါကတော်တော်ကောင်းသွားတယ်လူတော်
Anytime
တကောင်
Liquid needs to win, you go to the Nisha puck. On some level, I feel like that's getting to the level of like the old Storm
yeah.
Spirit meme,
Yeah.
where you're on the ropes, we need a dub. You break out the Nisha puck and you hope it carries you to victory. Definitely a good puck game though. Like I can't fault it for the pick. Very limited lockdown in this Nigma Galaxy draft. It's their time to play with very limited stuns. There were some picks in here that were pretty interesting. I was surprised to see the Wind Ranger come out just because your first 3 had no stuns, and then if you were going to pick up a 4 to give you a stun, Wind Ranger's like the most unreliable stun in some ways.
Yeah.
It was like kind of funny. And then I didn't expect to see this Axe either because I feel like Liquid had so many stuns that if you're going into this last pick for Ace, maybe just something that could have guaranteed him a good laning phase and give you like some utility would have been nice.
More of a standard Ace hero.
Yeah,
Like, did
did you need
that.
to jump? You know what I'm saying? So, kind of curious that we had a reverse of last game's draft in some ways.
Ooh, Omar manages to
ဟုတ်တယ်
stagger
ဥမာရ
that
သွား
back
လို့
room,
နော်
which
မောင်း
is
ရင်ပေါင်းပြီး
important.
တော့3လုံးပေးအောင်
Manages to
အဲ့တော့
get
liquid
the 2-2
versus ကျွန်တော်တို့
As a
ဒီကောင်မှ
result,
game 2ပါ
you're gonna need it.
ဟိုမှာ
You're gonna need
နိုင်
that
မလား
extra
တော့ကြည့်ရ
because,
ခုန
this
game 1
lane
လုံး
is
ကတော့ဒါ
pretty
drop နဲ့
rough.
ဆိုင်တော့
I
ဆိုင်
started talking about the Drow Ranger in the first place because this hero has been very meta in the first place, and you have offered Lycan as a suitable answer to this hero. I mean, it's been long since considered a counter to Drow Ranger. Why don't we see it more?
Well, we do see it. We saw some teams first phase this exchange, right? Give the Drow, take the Lycan, and they're confident in what this hero's going to do, not only for itself, but with the potential bite later on another hero. You get double gap close on the Drow, just crit her down. It's a pretty nice answer. You play some tempo, you take objectives, you can force Roshans before the Drow's ready to fight. It's a nice answer. You have to be able to play the hero, though, and you have to be willing to play that style. And Lycan is not a hero that just straight outscales the
ဒီ
Drow.
က liquid
So
drop
there is
ပို
some
တာတယ် liquid drop မှာ
ability there for
65
some
ငါမောင်ကမှာ
teams to, like,
35အဲ့လိုဖြစ်နေ
have
တယ်
to be on a timer
Dropနေတာ
against a super scary late game hero. It's really team dependent, but it can be super successful. Let's see what Divide can do with it here. And as we watch Lornoff on Necrophos for the second game, though this time it doesn't look nearly as easy of a Necrophos game. He does have some melee heroes he can kind of abuse, but there's a lot of silences to play around, a lot more stuns that can kind of chain stun him and 100 to 0 him. Puck's an annoying matchup, the Drow's an annoying matchup, so...
liquid အမှန်တိုင်းပြောရင်ကီးရတာတော့နည်းနည်းပိုကောင်းတယ် over တက်တာကငါမှ drop ကြီးကကီးလို့တိတ်မကောင်းအေးဒီအငိမ့်ဆောက်အောင်
He's doing very
liquid က
well.
လည်းတို့လေဂိမ်းတာတဲ့ကောင်မျိုးတွေဆိုတော့တို့ကလည်းအရင်ကြီးတော့ normal မတင်
4 and
ဆိုပါ
1. He is killing
အေးစစ်စစ်နှစ်သိန်းလုံးဆောက်
He's
မယ်
absolutely cooking in these early portions of the lane. Get another range deny too. Ooh, yeah, he's looking good 10 and 5. We also saw this Sumail Alchemist yesterday just have one of the fastest out games I've ever seen in this current meta. So if he can replicate that, this lineup can come online a lot faster than Liquid expects. And this is another hero that can be a good matchup against the Drow. You're not good in that late game isolated scale vacuum, but you're good in terms of I can out tempo him, I can take faster Roshans, I can get, BKB Radiance Blink, you just blink on top of the Drow and start smacking him. Not fun for Mickey in this game. So there's a lot of tempo elements that could well
ကဲဒီဘက်မှာ
work
GG က
well for
နော်
Nigma
အောက်ကလည်း
Galaxy, but they have to be able to
LG
get
လိမ့်နေနေရတော့မစိုးဘူးပါငါမှနောက် 1k ဖြစ်နေပြန်ပြီနော် individual တွေကွာနေတာများလား
You might just get pucked in this game.
နော်တပွဲလုံးလိမ့်နေမှာချဲတူးနေတာဆိုတော့
See how many golem camps GH can spawn this time around. It's always big.
လိမ့်နေနေမှာတွေကကွာနေတာများလား liquid နဲ့နေကောင်မှာ
Quite good though. Especially against that axe. 5 CS for Ace. Once more, he is struggling against this Sumail safe lane. Gonna have to pull creeps. I mean, he has an Earth Spirit, so you're not really doing a lot to play the lane straight up.
No. Simultaneously, they don't have the best heroes to stop you from backlaning.
No.
Io's not great.
I think this pick can work out. What it can do is it can give a lot of freedom to Boxy. If Ace can get into the creep cut mode, be self-sustaining, then Boxy can lead the lane with the Earth Spirit, which is what he likes to do with the hero. And he can just start either chain killing mid with like a roll kickback. He can go top and tri-lane a Lycan that you can just chase down as long as you have a stun available. There are gank options for the Earth Spirit here as long as you get this axe online.
ID, the Earth Spirit of like 10 years ago, it was a premier 4 position for its roaming.
အဲ့တော့နော် lane အားကိုကတော့ရှိတယ်မက်ကလည်းတော့ဒီရပ်ပတ်ပါညာဆိုမဲ့လက်စစ်သွားကွာနေတယ်မှာပတ်ကိုဖျဲလို့တော့မရဘူးဒါပေမဲ့လူရန် okay အဲ့ global လက်စစ်ကြီးတော်ကြီးကောင်းတယ်မြတ်
Ship heroes down. I think he can still give you that option. Blood grenade helps though.
It is true.
He's a great blood grenade hero. And he doesn't need much net worth to create the threat either. He kind of just exists for a little bit and still find those opportunities. I'd say he's in that category of Pudge, you know. If the spells
ဒီအပေါ်လေးတာနေတာကြီးတော့တော်တော်မိုက်တယ်ကွာ like ဟမ်အဲ့တော့ dome later ဆောဝိုင်းနော် liquid engine များတယ်
We've all been there.
Man, Nisha is
ဒီကောင်းနေကမှာပါကွာ
15 and 4, 25 and 10 for the Necrophos.
Here's a conceptual question for you. Let's say you go up against a team like
ငါကမာနဲ့ပါရီတွေ့တော့မိုက်ပါဟမ်ကုလို coach နဲ့ puppy coach နဲ့ပြန်ကြည့်ရပေါ်လာတော့
Nobody can defeat this guy over the long run. Is there some advantage to just giving him a cheese matchup like both games? Just be like, you can't outlane me no matter how skilled you are, and you're not going to snowball the game because you have to lane against Necro both times. You know? Like,
yeah, I've always felt like Falcons is always kind of a funny matchup against Liquid because Malrine kind of cheeses his way out of most mid lane.
For sure.
Right? So I always feel like that's pretty beneficial to Falcons. So yeah, this is kind of a similar idea hero-wise.
Quinn's a big cheeser too, so.
True.
Let's explain it, you know. All these Huskar players, right? I think that is one of Nisha's weaknesses. Like, he's not as good at cheesing you back. So if you cheese him, it's unlikely he's going to counter the cheese. You know, like
sure.
I don't. Like, he's not the guy. If you Huskar him, that he's going to Viper you.
ငါမနဲ့စီစီတယ်ဟုတ်တယ်ဒီ drop တွေကတော့လည်းနှစ်လုံးအငိမ့်တော့သွားမှာ
Rarely they end up in that situation. So I think this is one of the teams where you can kind of just throw that cheese hero mid and reliably know it's going to do some work in the lane phase at least. Doesn't mean this puck can't come back and just absolutely carry the game. We've seen that a billion times. But I do think it gives you something to play around, at least in this matchup against Liquid, that's working well for Nigma Galaxy because they are owning this lane phase. They have the top 3 CS, they have the top 3 net worth, and the puck is really suffering in mid, and he's your big playmaker here, so it's looking pretty good so far for them in this game too.
I do kind of wonder, is Earth Spirit ever going to try and help Nisha out in this mid matchup? I mean, they're not even set up for the power roots right now.
ကဲဒီလိုမှာ alchemist တဲ့
Chased out by GH and
ဟုတ်တယ်ဒီလိုမှာ site ထည့်လိုက်မလားနိရှာကိုကောင်းသွားပြီ what oh မရ
Not
ဘူး
enough to get the kill on Nisha, but maybe the follow-up is
oh if you rain လေးနဲ့မလို့ရောက်ရေးဒီလို boxy ကျွန်တော် or a smash ကြီးပါပေးတယ်ဆိုပေမဲ့မရဘူးရောက်ရေး GH share ဟီးနဲ့ဟာငကမတကယ်လုံနေပြန်ပြီဒီပွဲလဲ တော့မသေးပါဘူး
Big that Nisha gets that rune, lets him survive the Reaper early rain drop, of course helping out too, and now that spell's on cooldown for a bit.
And you know, mid player is very coach level
he has to go to base here. You're not going to use the coil. You do have that Earth Spirit puck combination. That can always be nasty with the coil snap.
But Drown Ranger is so tough in lane because the increased damage that they gave Frost Arrows. But he's doing all right with his Helm of Iron Will, and he's been farming some of the Clockwork Cogs pretty well, so.
The fabled Lycan IO combination.
Yeah, GH.
Not a great one.
Felt compelled to come up here, I guess.
I will say the IO synergy in this lineup is mainly around this Necrophos. He doesn't have a lot else to play with here.
ဟုတ်တယ်မို့လုံးဝအဲ့လိုရုံးအားချက်ပြီးတော့ gay hero ရတော့ကွာတိလားဘာညာမဟုတ်ဘူးသူဘက်ကအရင်ကောင်းနေမဲ့ကိုလေသူကအဲ့ gay hero ပြပေးပြီးတော့ကောင်းနေထုခိုင်းရအဲ့ဒါနေကောင်မအားသာချက်
After it doesn't really matter.
အဲ့ကာရီပါရီနခရိုးဖို့တွေအဲ့လိုပိုင်နေကောင်းတောင်းပြပေးပြီးတော့တာရတယ်ကွာဒီကောင်အဲ့တခုကောင်းတယ်လို့တော့
It's nice to have options in life, you know?
အဲ့တော့ let's pay လို့ရမယ်ဒီကောင်အေးရင်တကယ်ပွဲကြီးတွေမှာဒီကောင်တောင်းပေးလိုက်
I knew it was good. I mean,
somebody had to.
I was sitting there going, am I going to say it? Is he going to say it?
No, I'll say it. I have no qualms.
လက်ကတော့ KNR နဲ့ liquid နဲ့ကြိုက် KNR တော့မဆို liquid ကတော့နည်းနည်းကြည့်အောင်ဆက်ပြီး
Nisha will have an option of getting it.
အော် Foxy လာ roll ပေးပါ
Shield Rune gets popped.
Yeah,
Tofu is going to join in on this Lornoff
Sure,
is
we
just
are-
getting outnumbered.
Where was the help? The help was the IO who went top, back to bottom.
好似講啊，
And Omar tried to secure top rune, doesn't end up being there. All in all, it does feel like Liquid's supports are making the better moves so far.
Kind of interesting. Again, that goes back to that TP top for GH. If I'm the IO in this game, all I'm thinking about is helping my Necro abuse this puck as much as possible in the early game, at least. Right, like, that is the hero you can play through. They miss a little bit of that opportunity. We haven't seen a Reaper kill. It's been a slowish game for Lornoff relative to how much he dominated the 1v1. This is letting puck come back in the game right now. So better support.
အာရပေါ်မှာသွေးစိုးနေပြီတစ်ပိုင်း
Oh, accidentally got the
မကောင်းမကောင်းနေမှာပေးရရောက်ကလောကြီးဆေးထိုးသွားတယ်မကဲ
right next to Mickey.
ကိုယ်ရပါအာ
As a result of that.
ညမလောက်ပါနဲ့ငါကမညော်လင်းချက်တွေလုံနေပြီကွာ liquid ကိုတိုးစီးရတော့များပါမယ်လား
Dubai gets
တကယ်ထုနေတာ
shut down the Drow Ranger after all the annoying frost arrows thrown his way. It's got to be
ပေါ်
cathartic
လဲအရင်ကြီးနေသွားတာတော့သိတာ
here.
That's that big kill.
You're gonna lure it out,
Every
people,
time
tonight.
You have Helm, you have ult, just run at this Drow. He gets the Centaur, so there's no chance of TPing out. And you get the combination for the IO. It's the Helm creep. Super
ဘယ်လို
fast.
ဒီတပိုင်းအဲ့လိုတော့မရှိဘူးဒီ
It's a
ကောင်
great
အဲ့
little
ပုံမြင်
target
ကချင်းလုံးလိုက်တာတော်တော်အဆင်ပြေပါ
Very nice kill up here.
Now that that shapeshift is on cooldown, Drow Ranger's going to come right back to lane with the puck. Coil lands onto Divide, trying
Oh,
to
yeah,
block
oh,
one
he's got
of
body
them.
to
Either
Babylon.
Tofu or the Drow Ranger could join
That's it.
in. Drow doesn't actually chase. It's just going to be up to Tofu. Hits the cogs. They get the kill.
Nice return. They get a courier bottom as well. Axe is going the vessel. I think this
အဲ့
was
တော့ separate version လောက်ရရင်တော့မဆိုဘူးเนาะ S က
for
separate version နဲ့အဲ့လိုဒီဘက်က healing တွေတအားများ
to scale more than the Axe here. Sure.
ဟုတ်တယ်အခုတော်တော်ကြီးကောင်းလာနေကောင်မဆို
Link game, so I like this build up. He can even just go like vessel pipe. I wouldn't mind it here.
နူးမရှိနေကောင်မမှန်နေဆရာကြီးကနာမည်နဲ့လိုက်တယ်နူးက
He's certainly been annoying in his positioning here. Double wards plus the Watcher and doing this really deep backlaning where he's pulling creeps to neutrals all the time. So if Nigma Galaxy ever want to try and kill him, it takes them so deep into their own side of the map that it doesn't even feel worth it.
He's also killing these small camps behind the tower, which means Alex not farming them.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
can't stack them.
Yeah.
As the Axe would just take the stack. So it's really annoying for Sumail down here. That said, Sumail is still pretty damn farmed.
Do you think that's where that axe pick came from? Then
Yeah,
the
for sure.
concept then, okay, we can't let this alchemist farm any stacks. We need a hero that can do that.
It always is a factor. That's why Sand King used to be great back in the day.
Sure. Yeah.
I think the majority of it was they
အော်
wanted to
လာ
get
လိုက်
the
တဲ့
goal
ချက်
line.
ကေပါပေါ်ဆိုင်ကောင်းပါပြီအိုမာနော်အဲ့တကယ်ရတယ်ကြဲနေဟာလေကွာ
It's not the case.
ပတ်တီ
Beautiful setup from Omar there. Again, landing this shackle as your one stun in this lineup is not going to be easy. That's a huge kill to find before the puck gets out of control in terms of mobility.
ဒီကောင်မဟုတ်ရလားဟေး
Super precise going for Lorno. Very appreciative of that gank.
With a
Might even
focus
get a
fire,
tower.
they're going to take mid tower, yeah.
Super
They
valuable.
may have
Kill just
to have
coming out of nowhere.
ကိုအဲ့ဒါတိတ်မရှိတော့ပါဘူးမင်းတို့တေချင်ပြန်မိုင်းနေကောင်မ
Power's gone last
နော်
hit
ဂိမ်း
to
ဝဲ
the
တော့
Necro
မ
was
တွေးလိုက်ရအဲ့တော့
done
ဒီ
by
ပွဲလေး
the
ကျွန်တော် alchemy ကြီးစောင်းပတ်နေတာကြီးပြီးတော့
The bottom.
နကရောကလည်းမျက်မှတားထားတယ်နော်အများကြီးမျောလင်းလို့ရတဲ့
He
ဂိမ်း
has
မျိုး
any
လေ
interest in defending. Lycan will
သူ
never
မင်းရဲ့
ever
ready
see
ရဲ့
Lycan
dagger
win
BKB
the
တိုင်မင်းက
ball
20မတိုင်ခင်လောက်မှရလောက်
So this was going to be a gimme no matter what.
Simultaneously, Nigma Galaxy are likely to take the Liquid safe lane
Yes.
tower as well. Nobody wants to fight into the Lycan lane if he has shapeshift up, so.
Could be a lot of just objective concessions here from both teams as you try and ramp into your first set of carries items. And then they're ready to join some of these objective-based fights. Everybody doing a bit of jungling. Vessel is done for Ace, and he's eyeing that pipe, so I fully agree with this build. It looks pretty juicy here. Needs to get some Vessel charges going, though. That could be the harder part.
Yeah, the fight never comes his way. He doesn't really have a way to force the fight either. Battle Hunger is not going to be particularly useful a lot of times. You have a Dispel on the Alchemist. The IO is dependent on other heroes.
ဟုတ်
for
တယ်ဒီနေ့က
movement
ကျ
speed.
တော့ဖွင့်လိုက်
It has to be Earth Spirit plus Puck with the snap guaranteed off the kick combination, setting something up for
ဟော
the
ပြန်
Axe
နေပြီဝေးဆော့မြဟာဘဆော့မရသေးတယ်မဆော့မထားသေးတာ
Could
တူ
kill
မတူ
whatever shows mid.
ဒိတ်ပေကြီးဘာမှဆိုင်မနေဟုတ်လား
That's what I'm eyeing.
Here comes the smoke move. They're going to make their way to the Alchemist. And if they can get that kill, it would delay the Blink Dagger, which would give the Drow Ranger a little bit more security.
ကဲတော့ဒီဘက်မှာ smoke တွေကိုစီနဲ့
Reload out of this gate though.
Yeah.
That is the concern. You need to check the IO while you're killing the
အော် smoke ဒါပေမဲ့တေးရောမတေးတော့ပေါ့ IO ဟီးမှာရောchemical ray ရှင်ဘာမတေးဘူးရောအဲ့ alchemy ကစောင်းဟီးလေးများနေတေးဦးအော် check it too မဲ့ Oma တော့မဆိုင်နေကြမှာ team လက်ကွယ်တကယ်ကျုံးငယ်နေရပြီကျုံးငယ်နေရပြီတကမာဘူးခေါ်ရရရေးအဲ့လောက်ကောင်းမယ်ထင်ဦးမထင်တာလားငါလည်းခွန်းကောင်းညံပဲ
An absolute beauty. That's one of those game-changing shackles because that's
Separate player လိုတယ် separate player ပါမှဒီကောင်ကဲဟို
heroes trying to get the
I will
vessel
ultimate.
charges.
နော်ကိုလိုစင်းတော့ရဲ့ drug ကတမျိုးတော့တမျိုးလေးဒါပေမဲ့အလုပ်ဖြစ်တယ်
Totally wrong. Sumail gets the ult off. You have to commit stuns to stop the reload here. You get that. But there's not enough damage to finish Sumail off, and then Shackles into concoction into Reaper sight. Everybody joins the fight. No way your Drow gets here, so you're going to be outnumbered no matter what. Devi was already down there, kind of reading the move preemptively.
And they stole the Wisdom Shrine. Liquid have to punish here. And all they'll get out of it is Omar. So does not feel great. They are going to be...
အိမ်မမမဲနော်အရင်မမျော်လင်းနေဘူးနော်အရင်မျော်လင်းချက်တွေပေးပြီးသွားရင်ဒီကောင်မလွဲလောက်တတ်တယ်ဒီပွဲကိုပြောတာမဟုတ်ဘူး tournament တစ်ခုလုံးမှာငါတို့ဒီကောင်မအေးသိရမလား final တွေပါနေတက်သွားမလားတွေပါအရင်မမှန်ဘူး
He's getting there. Gonna have a nice
It's me sound funny now. BKB
tether him in the
Cool out
for
mine.
some extra moves.
BKB
Attacks
tag
and
up it.
sustain, like, he's gonna be amped up here.
Yeah, pretty much nothing is going to stop him when he hits that BKB timing. He blinks in, unstable concoction. I mean, what do they got? Hook shot? It's kind of it.
It's the axe call.
ဒီကကွန်ပျူတာဥမာမမူတည်ဒီဘက်ဥမာတော်လှုပ်လိုက်တော့ဒီတယ်မနေ့ကမှဆောက်ရကြီးစောင်းပို့ထားကြ
Yes, it's not a corrosive weaponry, so he
I
probably
don't know,
dies
Kanzami.
instead.
It's not a blade mail axe call that's doing anything to him. It's just a deterrent.
ဒီဘက်ဥမာတော်တော်လှုပ်လှုပ်တယ်ပြော
Will be double radiance here. Lornoff still opting for
ဒီတဲ့လူစီဝင်တဲ့နေကမှဖြစ်သွားမလားခဏလေးနော်စမ်းတာလေးတွေထိန်းလိုက်ပါဦး
Honestly, not much. I think
အာ group stage တော့တည်ရတယ်တခါကြီးအော်ဥမာအဲ့တော့မင်း
Liquid can't get little pickoffs like this. Another shackle shot that lands.
Nisha pianoနာနေရရ
Turn into something Nisha.
ဒီချက်ချိုးတော့မဲလိုက်ကန်ကောင်းလေးနဲ့အော် Nisha ဘယ်လိုကြီးတော့
Sandwiches him all the
ဘယ်
other
လိုမှရှင်းချလို့မရဘူးလိုက်ကန်ကနေဒီမှာဒုံးလိုက်တာကြီးနဲ့
series and Liquid is having an even worse
ကိုလို drop ကြီးတကယ်ဆန်းနေတာဒါပေမဲ့တကယ်လုံးနဲ့
7k up on Nigma Galaxy. Sure, you could say it's
Healing
an
the
obvious
building.
lineup, but this whole lineup is going to scale very well.
he took so much damage from the wolves. Howl coming through, focus fire.
Nishaတကယ်တက်လေဟို
His puck. That's a sad death summary
Really
for a
is.
puck. It's just not working out on these offensive moves. And so far, Omar MVP of this game. God damn. We could
draw
see this
ချင်ရောက်ဖို့
going
ဆိုတော့ရ
down
နော်
those
ဒီပွဲလည်း
stunts
လွယ်တော့
on
မ
his
လဲ
puck. Instead, yeah,
အဲ့နောက်ပွဲလေးတော့နေကမကျွန်တော်တို့အဲ့ alchemist တွေတော့ပြောတော့ necro တွေပါလေဘန်တော့မတယ် necro ဆိုတော့နှစ်ပွဲလုံးမြတ်မှာတာ
just falls into his lap.
He's
Back
a
to
lonely
the
man.
trolls, back to the golems. He has made this alchemist look really good. It is a classic Sumail hero. Pretty cool to see him play this again.
Well, Liquid is definitely not going to be running over Nigma Galaxy. So at this rate, this kind of lead that Nigma Galaxy has, you're back to, okay, Drow Ranger, can you carry this
I
game?
will eat the one and you know
Silence, though, that is quite the initiation.
Bobby,
Not the
the
fastest
five
kill
might
in this
be,
IO. Now they're going to
I
start
can't
back to
bomb you.
Divide, and they'll get both of them. So Mike actually making the first successful move for Liquid in a while.
That is a very solid turn of events up here. That was a Helm of the Overlord.
ဟုတ်တယ်စမစ်တဲ့ကပါသွားအဲ့ Nisha တစ်လေမှာဟို Nisha ကိုအိမ်လိုက်
5 vessel charges on
ဒီချိန်မှာ
ace.
ပြတ်နိုင်သေးတယ် Nisha
Not even sure where he got all of these. Huh. I mean, he has 1 kill and
ဟုတ်
2
တယ်
assists.
DI ကိုရောကုလို drop တွေကုလို drop အောင်မကြာရှုံ
Just
ပဲ
storing
တယ်
up on deaths.
Yeah, I guess so.
အဲ့ဒီနေကမှချက်ချင်းကျန်းအောင်အဲ့ဒါပဲဒီကတော့လူပြောင်းဖို့လိုနေတာရှင်ရက်တွေတော့မပြောသလို
Very good
လူ
vessel.
ပြောင်းလိုက်တဲ့အချိန်မှာတော်တော်ဟုတ်ပါကဲဒါကပါလာပြီစမျိုး
BKB on the Alchemist, and Lornoff is building one. So the effectiveness of this vessel,
Well, it's always good against the IO, though, right?
that's true.
I guess you can get a faster Greaves now on supports. So maybe GH will just rush the Greaves here.
Yeah, it is a cheaper item.
အဲ့ဒါတက်ပါလာပြီခွတ်
What happened to the Nisha Puck? The legendary Nisha Puck. He's getting
legendary နေရောက်တယ်တကယ်နော်လေးတွေပါဖန်တိုင်တယ်
shot lands. Earth Spirit not going to be able to roll out. This Wind Ranger is a menace.
He's everywhere.
ငကမာပြီးငကမာဖြစ်နေပြီ
Now they're going to reload in.
အော်အဲ့တော့ relocate နေတော့စနိုးတက်က share ရိုက်နော်
Guaranteed dead.
liquid လို့တော့ပြောတာပဲဟေးပွဲကလူမများဘူးဖြစ်တယ်နော်ပွဲလုံးမှာ
Nisha Puck, this is a legendary Sumail Alchemist.
guess so.
Legend against legend. You can't count him out here in the battle, and he is taking names right now. Nigma Galaxy are just feeling it today. They're in top form. Really cooking with this drafting game too and putting Liquid on the ropes. I mean, yeah, you have a Drow that can scale in this game. Hypothermia is going to be great.
နော်ဒီမြင့်သေးလေးပါပြန်လေးလာမှငကမာ drop ကို IOL commit နော်ဘယ်သူမှမတွဲတဲ့အတွက်မက်ကလည်း necro offlane ကလည်း like ကဲ
We've seen some nice tempo games today. People just
ဟုတ်တယ်စနိုးကလက်ရှိ carry ပြန်ဆော့နေတာငကမာမှာ
Nisha's got to be frustrated.
ကိုရိုကြီးပြောကိုရှိုး
Girls like, see, I told you, bro.
ကိုရိုကြီးပြောကိုရှိုး
That's the thing. I think Wolves.
Foxy is going to die to Wolves, maybe. He does. Well, I guess he can always roll out if it's just Wolves. But that can't feel great. Devi is quietly farming up an Orchid to make Nisha's life even worse.
It's going to be good in this game because the puck's so far behind.
Right.
ဒါပေမဲ့လက်ကြီးက draw ကလုံးဝတော့မကင်းအပြောက်တော့ဖန်နော်မကင်းအခုဒီရိုက်တောင်ရိုက်ပြောက်ကင်မရာ
And nobody can bail him out. There are no saves in this Liquid lineup.
မကင်းကဒီအပြောက်ဆော့တာဘတ်တရီပိုင်းပုံမှန် draw နေလိုမျိုးကျွန်တော်လာရောက်နာနေပါတော့မရှိဘူးဒီပွဲ
These Wolves are just so
Chef
annoying,
man.
man.
ကဲလာရပြီ
The Alchemist.
အော်ကီမင်း
Lord off.
စောင်းဝနာတယ်ဟိုအိုင်တိုင်းကတအားများ
Too
It's not
easy.
really needed. That was a free kill for Nigma Galaxy as is, but they're
Smith up with my
grouped up. They can go for a smoke off of this.
Sumail's doing
နော်
so
လူမ
much
များ
work.
ဘူးဖြစ်နေတယ်
He is not AFK Alchemist farming. He is hunting heroes around the map. Here's another one.
ကဲဆိုမေးလိုက်ရိုက်နေပြီဟောအေးငါတို့ဟိုးငယ်ငယ်တုန်းကကြည့်ခဲ့ရတဲ့နော် alchemy mid တွေပါလေလို့ပြောမယ်နောက်ဘဝလုံးဝအရင်ကဘောကြီးလို့ပတ်ထွက်အေးအမ relocate တင်နေရော
Making a run.
ဟုတ်တယ်ဟာကြီးတကောင်နေ what the fuck
GHIO, who
အေးဘောလာနဲ့ဘယ်လိုလမ်းပွင့်လာ
And throw some multi shots, slow him down.
အေး
Sumail's still
အော်
gonna
စ
get
မီလ်
the
ရိုက်ပြန်ပြီရိုက်ပြန်ပြီ
Even with a seemingly
ဟုတ်တယ်ဟာ
fail gank attempt, it still results in a kill.
Completely out of control.
အေး
now.
မိနစ်30အိုက်တယ်ရဆောင်းရုံမကောင်းလဲကျွန်တော် group မှာတက်ရတော့
Running at whoever they
နော်
want.
alchemy ကမိနစ်30မရောက်ခင်မှာလေ6ကွက်ပြေသွားမယ်အနေထားမှာ
You
ရှိ
want to go Roche? You can do that. You want to keep hunting
24
heroes?
25မှာ
You can
6ကွက်
do
ပြေ
that. You want to look for the reload ganks? Even when it's a little weird, it works out anyway. Mickey is sweating right now.
Yeah, he's like, guys,
Oh, Lord.
what is happening?
How?
Every move you make goes horribly.
He's just seeing the death toll rise. Thinking this game is getting harder and harder to carry right now. Nisha gonna look for a Wisdom Shrine steal. and he
အော်
gets it.
ကောင်းလိုက်တာ
He
နေ
did
ရှားလေ
it
ကွက်တီ
just because I guess you're not actually
Yeah, you're
on
not
the
on the
Wisdom
map.
Shrine when you're a Death Seeker form.
အဲ့တော့အောက်မှာတော့ divine အနေနဲ့ terminal ယူဖို့ပါညာစူးစားတယ်အဲ့ divine လည်းတက်တယ်ကျွန်တော် object သွားမယ်ပြီးတော့ကြောက်ကြောက်တက်သွားမယ်ဒီမှာစတန်မကြည့်တဲ့ကိစ္စကို
Don't know where his
ဟိုက်ကလေးနဲ့သူကလည်းဖြည့်စည်းပေးအောင်မနေကောင်းပါဘူး
Well, he's got some.
ဘောင်းနေကြောက်
so
မာသူမင်းအရောက်ရေးလုံးကုန်မယ်နော်
Sumail,
တောင်းလျှောက်ရိုက်နေအောင်ကြည့်နေတာအားကြီးတော့လုံးကုန်မယ်ဂရု state ပဲရှိသေးတယ်အားရချန်အောင်
just for some extra control and
Sure.
and
Don't go,
lockdown.
man.
I can
Don't
see
go,
the
man.
in this lineup.
Yeah, you relocate in on somebody. They're trying to run away. They're getting Gale Force pushed back into the relocate. A fast AC for Sumail, done at 22 minutes.
That is extremely fast. Fast is an understatement for how farmed he is. He's double the axe net worth.
Is this faster than his last Alchemist game?
Yes, for sure.
20,000 by 22 minutes?
I don't think the first 10 minutes were faster, but the overall trajectory is steeper. I mean, this is... He's not only having a free farm Alkin, he's killing heroes on top of it.
And he can give away an Aghanim Scepter that will in turn benefit him, right? Do you think this first axe goes to Devi and then he gets the Wolf Bite?
I think so. I don't think the Necroags is really doing anything this early in the game.
Yeah.
So who else are you going to give it to? Give it to the Lycan, he bites you. The IO can tether. And you're just off to the races, right? You're an absolute monstrosity. There's no way Drow can stand there and fight you.
ကဲအဲ့တော့ Russian လေးယူပြီးတော့เนาะဒီဘက်မှာ
So awkward that Axe has
လိုက်
built
ဖိလိုက်လေရ
these
ဘ
auras.
လို့ဆော့တော့ဖြစ်နိုင်နေပါပြီပုံစံကြီး
Pace-wise, it's very good in this game, but when you're so far behind
Ay,
like
ganyan,
this, you
ako.
can't actually take a team fight to utilize the auras. So now you wish you just had a blink dagger for like pick-off opportunities.
You're not picking anything off in this game.
ဟိုနီချာလက်ကြမဟုတ်ဂေးရိုးနဲ့တွေ့ရောနီချာလည်း
Certainly
မနိုင်ဘူးလေနဂရိုးကိုတောင်းထိန်မှုဆိုတဲ့တော်မတော်ကတ်
But you lack the damage.
ဒီ line နဲ့ကအောက်တယ်ဖြစ်နိုင်တယ်ဆိုတာအနည်းဆုံးတော့ဘယ်အသေးနဲ့တွေ့သိရမလား
All that minus
ဘရော့ကောင်းနေနေကမှဆော့တာကောင်းနိုင်မယ်ဆိုတဲ့ခံစားချက်ရှိ
Seeing this rich is you
အော်
can just kind of
ရှက်ကေတော့မထီပါ
to make up for any deficits your lineup might
ကဲဒီဘက်လည်းဆော့တက်ကျုံးနေနေတာမှရှိတယ်ကျွန်တော်မိနစ်30လောက်မှာပဲအဲ့လို high ground နေပါတယ်ကျွန်တော်
extra stuns here. They can do it right. Throw a Yule Scepter in there, throw a Scythe in there.
Yeah.
I mean, throw an Atos if you really have to, but
ဘယ်ကတော့ဒီဘူး alchemy အေးဟုတ်တယ်နော် like age ဟိုဆက်တပေးလိုက်တော့စောင်းရင်ကြမ်းပါလေ
take a tier 2, start hitting the tier 3, dare Liquid to fight you.
အ
They
မေ
are
က
gonna
တိုး
fight
လေး
this
ပြေး
tier
ဆိုင်
2.
ပါဟောရရလူတော့ပြောက်သွားမလား BKB ချေမစမီလ်ဘက်ကတော့ကျုံးနိုင်လိုက်ရပြီဟောင်း
They have a call.
LP ကစစ်မချီဘူးကွာဆက်ပြဿနာပဲဆိုမင်းအိုးရှက်ကတူးမယ်ကဲဘတ်မတော့ရစမီလ်တာဝရဆင်းနေနေပြီပဲနောက်မှာမကယ်ချစ်ပြအိုးတူးမန်စတာနောက်မှာစမီလ်ရှိရလေးနဲ့တောင်းချောက်ရိုက်တာရပြီ level စစ်မလို့ဟလာမြန်မာလိုရိုက်တာအော်နာကြပဲကဲနောက်မှာ like ကြိုက်တာတွေနေတော့ Team Liquid စိတ်ပိုင်း GG တော့ခေါ်လို့ရပြီဝယ်ရပြကြီးပဲ
Fight win for Nigma Galaxy.
And Devi effectively just solo killed the puck. With the Orchid plus the Desecrate on the backside of that fight, Nisha just got 100 to 0'd. Because he has no defensive item.
Nope. He got the latest blink dagger I think
Say
I've
bye,
ever
did
seen.
you call it?
him
Yeah.
do, which means that second item is so far away.
This game can just end. I mean, they're at 1,000 net worth advantage per minute, basically. And when you have these
မ
sustained
မြောက်
items,
ဝါ
it's just
နော်
all
အများကြီးမျောလင်းထားတာဒီပွဲကိုပွဲကြည့်ကောင်းမယ်
straight into
တ
the
က်ကလာ
lane.
ဘာမှမလုပ်နိုင်ဘူးဖြစ်
He
နှစ်
is
ပွဲလုံး
available.
Liquid ကေး30อ่ะဘယ်လိုတော့10ကောင်းတော့မရတော့ဘူးမလွယ်ဘူး30တော့ပြီးပါ
Yeah, what do you do to stop a hasted,
I don't know.
tethered alchemist? Because you can't coil him, he's got BKB. You can call him, but we've already talked about how that
ဘ
kills
ယ်တော့
the
LT မေးပြီးတော့ရိုက်ဖို့ကြိုးစားနေတယ်ဆိုမှ drain ကွာနောက်မှာ vision out ထဲမှာ Team Liquid ရလောက်တော့ကြိုးစားနေပြီမလွယ်ဘူးနောက်မှာလော smell အေးခွေးပြောင်းမိလိုက်ပြီ alchemy ဆို
Try and keep these
Oh,
heroes
Recipe
at
me
bay
lo vieron.
into this choke point. Nigma Galaxy do not dare to keep that dive going. They're going to
Oh,
chase
yeah.
after the
Pilo.
puck instead. He was out on the map. Self-stun. You know, get him.
ဆောင်းတော့မိုက်တယ် alchemy ပေါင်အောင်
Well,
I can fall.
victory for Liquid. The first team fight they won.
Oh, that was a cute play. Hops back up to the high ground.
Please no.
With the tumbler toy and does find the opening to roll away. Pretty much it continues that the wins, quote unquote, for Liquid are them surviving Nigma Galaxy's aggression, not actually turning anything back around themselves.
You need
ကဲ
time
အဲ့
to
တော့
make it
နိုင်ကျင်းနေပြီကွာ Russian မဲ့တက်တော့လည်းစောင်းနေပါသေးကြပါ
Just praying this
ဟော
draw
draw high
can
ground
get
လေး
to
ရှိ
the
နေ
next
တယ်တော့
item, get to the next item. Did survive that Aegis period, I guess, and you got a D-wards. You have a little map control to work with.
I mean, it sucks because he can't go straight damage to threaten these heroes. He thinks that it's a requirement to get a Lincoln's, which I don't blame him. Like, one unstable concoction, he dies. But at the same time, it feels like you're just going to be lacking in damage because the rest of your teammates do pretty much nothing.
Maybe you're supposed to just go straight Daedalus here. I don't know.
I do kind of feel like you should go all in and just, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. This game is probably lost anyway. You might as well just try and get some sort of fight where you are magically not targeted by Nigma Galaxy and free to hit heroes.
Well, if they can abuse buybacks and just kind of throw bodies into the fight, if Mickey gets 2 to 3 multi-shots off, you probably win that?
You don't sound confident.
I'm not confident, but
ကဲအဲ့တော့
that is what
Russian
Drow's designed to do.
If you can keep the Drow Ranger alive in a team fight for 27 seconds.
Yes.
ဘယ်ကိုဝါ
30-second fight, that's all it takes. You get 3
30
multi-shots
seconds
off.
လွယ်ပါလေ
somehow Nigma
လွယ်ပါလေ
Galaxy simultaneously don't run away, but they also don't kill all of you.
You need the hypothermia pops, basically. You need to stack it up on some heroes, get the big pop, and just chain it. You can land a big coil. BKBs are going to be obnoxious, that's for sure. You have to kite those out somehow, but there is a route to a teamfight victory, however narrow. We do have Lincolns on Nisha. Perhaps he can start playing more aggressively around the map, pushing lanes a little deeper, stall this game. They give him a gem here as well. Pretty neat, necessary against all these Lycan Wolves that have been very well micro, just scouting everything out.
Yeah, if he's spotted somewhere on the map, there's potential of a blink instant unstable concoction.
အော်ရတကယ်ကတက်ပြောင်းသွားနေတာကောင်းတော့ဘယ်လိုဖြစ် diffuser ဖြစ်သွားနော်ကြည့်ရ disperser သွားပြီးတော့လို့ဒီမှာ draw တွေပါ silent နဲ့ချိန်လုတ်ပေးဖို့လားမသိ
tanking up
တက်ပြောင်းပိုကောင်းပါရဲ့အာနေပြီနော်ဘိုင်ကန်တို့လည်းသွားကြတယ်တက်ပြောင်းနဲ့ဟုတ်တယ်တက်နေတာနေကမှအောက်မှာသွားခြင်းအောင်ဆောင်ပြီးအပေါ်မှာနှစ်ကောင်လေးနဲ့ပြေးဆိုင်
He's got plus
ဆောင်းနေတာကွာအဲ့လို alchemy ကြီးဆောင်းလဲအဲ့လိုလိုက်ကြိုက်တယ်ဆိုတာဟဲ့နောက်ပိုင်းမတွေ့ရတာကြာပြီ
I mean, frankly, the rest of Liquid are so
Yeah,
underperformed
give it
at this
a
point.
throw.
Boxy's rolling out. They do manage to hit the
အေး
silence.
အာယုကြာလာပြီ
Judgment to coil. Heavy commitment to get that one kill. Mickey's outside of the
submit
base.
the fan ပြန်ရိုက်
Olaf gets behind him,
Yeah,
and
he-
he's just dead.
Liquid
You can turn
ဘာမှ
around
လုပ်လို့
and
မရအောင်
shot slow these heroes, but once you're outside of that base, Nigma Galaxy, they
Only have
only
back
have
door.
one hero they need to stop, and that is the Drow Ranger.
အေး all get me ပါပြီ
Amnesia.
He's just
ရပြီအော်ဒီရှာကိုကောင်တာရတာကွာ diffuser နဲ့ငါလည်းခွန်း
He went defusal, I think, just
နော်
to be able to
diffuser နဲ့ object ကိုမဟုတ် sorry link ကို cancel ပြီး object ပိတ်လိုက်ပြီးပါ
I mean, it's brutal out here for Nisha.
All right, well, Liquid are going to try and slow this down. Don't think they're going to be able to stall it even a second here.
It's giving him the 3-core call if he wants it.
Yeah, go for it, Ace. I dare you.
Do you want it? Without the damage dealers, there's not really a point. I will say the Shiva's on the Alex seems kind of nice. He has a bunch of AoE, right? Concoction and the acid spray.
Makes it so that he has so much bonus armor that marksmanship doesn't change anything.
Oh, yeah, you're not doing anything to
You're
this guy.
getting past 10 armor, but there's still the bonus 36. 2 lanes of barracks. Gonna fall here, Liquid. Okay, well.
Read him like
ကဲ
a book.
အဲ့တော့လုံးချင်တာလုံးပြီးတော့ငါမကြီးကပြန်သွားတယ်အေးစေးပဲ
Feels a bit embarrassing.
Still, they are smoked.
အဲ့တော့တကယ် liquid ကိုအဲ့လိုကြီးရိုက်တိုက်တယ်လုံးနဲ့ game 1တက်ကိုပူဆိုးတဲ့ game ကြီးက
best opportunity to come
နော်
back.
နေချာပတ်တွေပါတယ်လည်းမရအောင်
Do or die here for
ဒီ
Liquid.
ချာ
Gotta make something.
ပတ်တယ်တော့ဒီဘက်က liquid တောင်တိုက်လိုက်သေးတာဒါမဲ့
He's gonna show on this watcher. He's gonna break.
အော်တက်နေတာရောဘာကောက်ပါ BKB
Still pulled in a bit. Lower enough though. Is ultimately fine because Liquid are not certain they can take that fight. They don't know how many heroes are here. They're going to get the Wind Ranger again. Boy, they hate
ကဲဝင်ရ
him.
ဒီခေါ်တော့ရ
I don't know if they hate him. That's just the only hero they can kill.
Yeah, that's fair.
8 vessel charges on Ace.
ကဲ Roshan လေးယူပြီးတော့
Such a weird game for him because
Roshan တော့တကယ်မလို့တော့ပါဘူးကွာပွဲရရ
use
လည်းကွာ
it once. He's just stockpiling charges, and he was so Liquid were so far behind, like they never got a chance to fight with the vessel. So in some ways, it just ended up being a dead item.
Yeah, every fight the cores show up, they pop BKB, and the fight is over by the BKB going
Yep.
down. So
Really awkward, man. You're like you're gonna end up in a losing game with 8 vessel charges. It's really weird to think about. You know, normally you lose a game, you're expending every charge to try and win some fight or something.
yeah, if you have 8 charges, you should be heavily winning the game.
Exactly. I don't know if I've ever seen so many charges in a losing position.
Yep.
Very awkward for him. And there's the Lycan Tormentor solo. Shard going to the Alchemist for even more HP regen boost via attack speed.
Devi pays Samael back for the Aghanim Scepter that he got.
It's all juice here. He
And
spent his
speaking of
gold
which-
on something else overwhelming. Blink for the Alch.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was about to say, he is kind of 6-slotted here, so probably expect another Aghanim Scepter to be
Samael?
built soon.
အော်နေချာတွေ့တော့တွေ့ပါအော်မရဘူးရောက်ကြီးရိုက်တာပဲ
Galaxy a lot this game. Boy.
ရှီဘာကတ်တယ်ရော
Makes swift work of him.
9-0 and 10. Samael.
What a game.
နော်
for him.
troll ဒီကောင်ဒီကောင်လာချင်းရှီဘာကတ်တွေပါသွားတာ
You know, kind of a one last ride scenario. He's already called his retirement potentially.
ဒီဘက်အိုမာဘာဖြစ်ချင်နေတာအနားထဲမှာမြင်နေတာကောင်းနေတယ်ရောက်ကြီး
Potentially is another support is victim to the Samael blink in assault.
Got Omar though.
Well, they got him again. Bloodthorn done for the Lycan. So even like he's probably still aiming for the puck, but if he uses it on anybody else, they're gonna be taking so much extra damage.
This is one of those
That's
games
the only
though,
one.
I'm not
ကဲ
wasting
ရရှာနေတဲ့ဒီပွဲပြီးရင်ခဏနောက်မှာပါ
anybody
ပွဲ
but
ရှိ
Nisha. I am just running in the fight.
PC နဲ့ spread ပါရီနဲ့ဟို
Every time Diffusal Bloodthorn, he's dead. And he can't play Dota if this threat is available. If you use your items on somebody else, you're opening space for the puck to maybe do
PC ဂိမ်း
something.
နဲ့ separate လေးပဲပြလိုက်ပါနည်းကလည်းပါရီပြပြီးပြီဆို
I think he actually needs to get a dispel.
Yeah, what is that? Yules? Then you're playing into nullifier territory. Normally you just kind of tank up with like Shiva's Octarine. You're able
OG
to
လည်းရေကြီး
survive
နေတာ
over
OG ကဒီနေ့ဘယ်သူနဲ့လဲ
against
OGက
this amount of
ICY
net worth on the Lycan. I don't even know if that's the. I don't think it's the case.
Yeah.
Technically, you have 3 frontliners who should be doing something here for you, but it's been a rough one all around. We'll see if Liquid can hold the high ground. They do have a barracks top,
ကဲ
so
အဲ့
this is
တော့
not technically.
အော်စမေကိုလိုက်ကန်ဖောင်လေးပြောင်းမိလိုက်မှာလာပြီ
The
ဖောင်
Lycan
နှစ်ခု
will take the remaining.
Here comes the wolf fight.
Oh
Shiva,
boy, he is
unstable
bad.
concoction. Everybody scatters on the side of Liquid.
နာဦးက LG မကိုလိုက်ကန်ပေါက်ပြောင်းတာစောင်းမှာ
Samael says, okay, well, I'm in this deep.
စမေကိုဒိန်းသားပေါင်းရေး
Might as well keep going. Goes
စမေတရားစိုးနေပြီ9ယောက်ကြားထဲမှာဝေလုံနေတာတွေးလည်းမရော
wasting much of the BKB here. Liquid plays this pretty well. Now the BKB is going to expire.
ကဲလိုက်ကန်ဖောင်တော့ပြီးသွားပြီတော့ LG ပြဖောင်လည်းပြီးတော့မယ်နော် Chemical Reach လည်းကုန်တော့မယ်ဆိုရဲနောက်မှာတော့ Nigma စငုံရှိကိုတော်တော်ကြော်သွားပြီပဲရေဟီးတဲ့တည်းရာသေးတယ်ဟုတ်တယ်စတန်ကဲလိုက်ကန်ပြဿနာလေဒီဘက်မှာနီရှာတောက်လျှောက်တက်နေတာဆိုတော့နော် Liquid ဘာမှမလုပ်လို့မရ
This time does survive another call. I mean, they just keep on pulling in hero after hero. Will they ever have enough damage to kill somebody? Boxy rolling in, bit too deep. He's going to be Reaper Sight. That brings Lorinov back up to full. That is going to be another lane of barracks.
ကျွန်တော်လိုက်ကန်လေးကောင်းတယ်မလား။အော်ဒါပေမဲ့ draw
Committed.
ဟုတ်တယ်ရပါပြီ
Vegas maybe gets Tofu as well. Unstable concoction. It lands half HP for Samael committing for
Don't
the
like
kill.
this shit,
Nice
wow.
shackle shot to follow that up as well, catching Nisha and Mickey. Mickey, he'll die for the cost of an Aegis on an Alchemist. They just
Oh, that
simply
man, some
cannot
show.
do anything there. They're gonna buy back, kill the Alchemist again. Congratulations.
ဟုတ်တယ်ရ
You
ဝေး
got him.
နော်
You
All
got
it
it.
cost
Get by
you
my
was
baby.
everything.
The streak
What you
goes to
mean?
Ace. Probably not the hero you want.
Think
to
about it,
keep
get
that
you all to
extra
the top.
1400 gold here.
Probably not.
They will claim it. The beast has been slain.
Well, it's 35-minute megas, so we're back to the same.
ကျွန်တော်ကဖြစ်တဲ့ခွင့်ရတော့မရအောင်ပြဒါ
You
ဘိုင်မန်နဲ့
Vegas
မို့
to
လို့
35 twice in a row. That's pretty brutal.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be either the proof is in the pudding. Liquid is just not in shape, and they're not going to be able to contest the other teams, or this is going to be the series that wakes them the hell up. Because this one was,
It was brutal, yeah.
yeah, it was pretty demoralizing, I would say.
The thing is, they did play against this Necrophos mid twice, where he just kind of owned the lane. But this game had a lot bigger issues. Like, you were just getting outplayed around the map.
Yeah, you could be like, oh, guys, bad draft, whatever. You got outplayed in game 2.
Yeah, I agree. There were moves to be made here. There was some finesse to be had. You could find those little openings with some of the initiators. It's not easy, but it was there.
Liquid ကတော့မရတော့တော့
Good old time.
Oh yeah, he loves this style of Dota.
ဟုတ် Liquid ကတကယ်တော့စဉ်းစားကြည့်ရင်
Initiating,
လက်ရှိ
carrying
တော်
his
နမ
role,
မတိုင်ခင်တည်းကလေဒီကောင်ကြီးကဘာမှမဟုတ်
people.
Rule သိမတက်တာနှစ်ခုလာပါ Thunder နဲ့ Liquid ကပုတ်နေတာနဲ့ကိုပြောလို့ပဲ Thunder ကကျတော့ one way ပြော်ရတယ်သူက Dota ရဲ့ flow ရဆိုတော့ organization အသစ်အောက်ရောက်သွားရင်တော့ပိုကျဲတယ်အဲ့တစ်ခွက်တော့ရှိ
The other two are weak enough that it's going to be a bit difficult for them. But they can stall this out, and Drow Ranger is closing in on level 25. Combine that with a completed Silver Edge.
He technically has the skill. I mean, yeah,
He does. He does. It's too bad that Nigma Galaxy's lineup is pretty anti-carry.
for sure.
Right, you just got so many heroes that can just get on top of the Drow Ranger. The Wolf Bite, some Blink Daggers.
မှာ from နားတယ်လေဟိုဒီကတော့လုံရအောင်ခေါ်လိုက်လို့ပါအဲ့လိုမျိုးလုံရအောင်ရဲ့အားတက်ချက်ကအရင်ကြီးမကောင်းဘူးတော့တရားဝင်ကကောင်းတယ်သူဂေးလို့နဲ့ထုလို့ရအဲ့တစ်ချက်ကတော်တော်မိုက် ပြီးတော့ signature hero 3 ကောင်လောက်ရှိတယ်ဆိုတော့အဲ့5ကောင်လောက်နဲ့ပတ်ဆက်လို့ရ
Not normally the most broken.
ပြီးတော့ late game ရောကောင်းတယ်ကျွန်တော်
Tommy
က
Mags and we win the game, but this does add a decent amount of damage.
ဘလို့လှတာတွေဘာတွေပြတာတွေဘာတွေတော့သိမရှိဘူးအဲ့ပလေးอ่ะတော့နည်းနည်း
farm the map.
တဲ့နော်
So like he just
ကဲ GH ကဟတ်တွေတော့ဖြစ်ကုန်ပြီ
You gotta remember, this hero still has the attack tethered allies target talent at 25 if you get there.
Yeah.
So if you actually scale up on IO, you start hitting really hard. I like this Axe pool. It's kind of just scale security if this game somehow gets weird, right?
Yeah.
Now, you're not expecting it to, but now all of a sudden GH, he's just gonna free farm the whole map.
Oh,
He's
my
just
dear,
reloading.
man, relocating the fan.
He's living the IO dream. And you know what? 0, 1, and 18, that is perhaps the perfect IO scoreline. The perfect GH scoreline, right? He's just a helping friend. I'm not gonna take any kills. I'm not gonna last hit anything, but 18 assists, I'd never die. Feels good, man.
I like that play where he TP's back for a little bit of regen before the reload.
ငါမှတက်စိတ်နေတာကွာ now 40k ကိုလာကွာပတ်တက်သေးဘူးငါလာကွာ
BKB. Man, that's gotta feel great to pick up.
စမေးက GTI ထိပဲအဲ့လိုတော့ပေါ့စမေးက permanent ပဲကွာ
I wasn't even at my full form yet.
True.
ကဲတားရီတို့ Aegis တော့မဆောင်နဲ့တော့ဟုတ်လားနောက်ပွဲတွေကြည့်မယ်ဟိုမှာနောက်မှာ separate PC game ရှိတယ်
Push, not gonna wait for any roach. They're not gonna play Falcons Dota. They're gonna play Nigma Galaxy Dota, which is full send it.
draw လည်းပိုင်းမရှိဘူး draw တင်ရ
End up in the enemy fountain. Well, here it comes. Combination of mega creeps and
ကဲဒီဘက်မှာ pass ကနကရိုအိုးပြတ်ပြောင်းမလား
but they do manage to
အော်
break
နည်းနည်းလေးဟိုဒီတော့
and he will get it. Had the BKB, got off the Ghost Shroud, full heals. Still though,
Yes,
Liquid
someပြေးရိုက်လို့ရတယ်
for this puck. Not dead yet.
Oh, big trouble though.
Is he going to be able to blink away? He
Oh,
will.
yeah,
He'll
Nisha
get
le
farther away, but he won't get far enough away. These heroes are just too fast. They have too much mobility. They'll cover him with the Shivas and actually get him. So they did lose something for that.
ကဲ Nisha
Just
no back
nowhere to run. Too much disable from the itemization here. They're gonna send the creeps in. Start.
Nisha no buyback.
For a jump.
Try to go for that jump. Geomagnetic grip pulls him out. Self-stun for the Alchemist.
ဟိုဒီရှားမင်းကဘာမှလုပ်လို့မရ
Big kills fast enough though. Tofu's going to be overwhelmed. Reaper Sight managed to get the roll in and quick silence on many of these heroes, but the damage is there.
တကယ်ကောင်းတာဒီကောင်မအဲ့ drop ကြည့်ရတယ်နော်အလုံးမလုံးဘူးထင်ပေမဲ့တော်တော်လုံးလုံးတာပဲခု drop
Before the end of game, throne is
ဆောင်းတောင်းတယ် IOL keep ကိုမှနကရိုကြီးပါတက်ပစ်တာ
magnetic grip to be able to save the axe, trying to kick back these heroes. Kick back the wolf instead. Not the wolf he intended to. A nice relocate save. Ace, another call, trying to pull them into
အေးစေကကုရို reservoir နော် drop ကြီးကဟုတ်တယ် IOL team နကရိုကိုသူဒီပါနော်ဒီကောင်မအနေနဲ့တော့ Personal campaign နဲ့ကူတကယ်ပြန်လာနေပြီနော်မနေ့ကလည်း Aurora 1-1 Aurora ဆိုလည်းဒါ final 3ခုလာမလို့စရိုက်တက်ထားတယ်သိရနော်အခုလည်း Liquid ကို2သေးတယ်နော်ဒီကောင်မကတော့ group စိတ်တက်တာတော့သိကြသွားပြီအပွားတော့ရောက်ဖို့များပါပြီအပါရဖို့တော့များပါပြီ
It's impossible. It
ကဲ
feels
အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့နောက်မှာ separate နဲ့ဟိုပြမယ် VC gaming နဲ့ပြလိုက်မယ်နော်အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်နောက်15မိနစ်လောက်နေကျွန်တော် live stream အသစ်နဲ့ပြန်တက်ခဲ့မယ် VC gaming နဲ့ separate အဲ့တော့ border အားလုံးပဲပြန်တွေ့ပါမယ်နောက် live stream အသစ်မှာအဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်ဒီပွဲတွေရင်ခုန်ခြင်းနဲ့ဘာညာဆိုရင်ကျွန်တော်တို့တော့ကိုဘောကိုကောင်းဖွင့်နေတယ် win1h နဲ့အကောင့်ဖွင့်လို့ရတယ်ဒါမှမဟုတ်လေကျွန်တော်တို့အမှ bonus ပေးလိုက်မယ်ဒါမှမဟုတ်လေကျွန်တော်တို့ Telegram နဲ့ဝင်ပြီးတော့နော်တီးလို့ရတယ်မေးမြန်းလို့ရတယ်ကဲအဲ့တော့အားလုံးပဲ bye bye guys ပြန်တွေ့ပါမယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့နောက် live stream အသစ်မှာ